Yes, we are, Amanda, and we are live from Altamont, Kansas, here on the campus of Labette County High School, home of the Labette County Grizzlies. Good evening, Grizzly Nation. Thank you for tuning in for tonight's broadcast of Labette County basketball. Jack Leak with you on the call alongside Isabel Redford and Lucas Hayward on the KLKC Sports YouTube live stream, as we are all the way down to the bottom of what looked like at the beginning of the year that long schedule, but now it is oh so short. Tuesday, February 21st is the date. Here at home Tuesday night, taking on the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are our Grizzlies. Last game of the regular season will be on this upcoming Friday. It will be at home as well against Coffeyville. So Isabel, it's been a long road stretch. This is just our third home game since January 3rd. We've been on the road traveling mightily, but it'll be nice to settle down and cap off the regular season here on the home hardwood.
Yeah, it definitely is nice to kind of have that long stretch and then to finally be able to bring the last two games of the season home and hopefully finish strong for both teams this week. So I'm excited that we're here in one of my favorite atmospheres for high school basketball, and it'll be interesting to see how this week pans out for the Lady Grizzlies.
Indeed, the Lady Grizzlies are the first game of the night, followed by the guys as usual. 13:30 till tip. Welcome in one and all to the Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. Lady Grizzlies come into the contest at 8-10 on the season and 5-5 inside the SEK, coming off of a big-time win about 3.5 hours north of here against Atchison. We'll dive into the guts of that one here in a moment, but the Lady Grizzlies trailed by 19 points in that contest, 17 points in the second half they trailed, and won it against Atchison 62-59. So hopefully we can get that bounce off the trampoline, as we have lost 3 of our last 4 prior to that. So hopefully we can go win-win in the final 2 SEK League games of the season. Pittsburgh Purple Dragons, it's a little bit different picture painted by the ladies from Pittsburgh. They're 1-18 coming into the year and just 1-10 inside the SEK. I personally kind of find that hard to believe, that they have just eked out 1 win out of 19 tries. That 1 win came against our rival, the Parsons Vikings. It was at Parsons, in which the Lady Purple Dragons beat the Vikings 56-53, eked out their first win of the season against the Lady Vikes. Isabel, we'll go ahead and just dive right into it here on the Tank Connection pregame show, nearing the 12-minute mark. Intel tip from Harrison Gymnasium in Altamont, Kansas. We're going to take a look back at that last game that these Lady Grizzlies had. Again, trailed by 19 points in the first half against Atchison. The Lady Phoenix up there put up a good fight, but Labette County put up a better one. Walk us through what went right in Labette County's second half, where they outscored Atchison 41-25.
Yeah, it looked like a whole different team that just came out on the floor in that second half. It was just a struggle going into the locker room. They couldn't really get anything going. They were giving Atchison a lot of fast break transition points, and that's really where Atchison was getting a lot of their scoring from. And especially with their point guard Snotty, as she was just phenomenal in that first half. But thankfully the Lady Grizzlies came out with a vengeance in that second half, and they did everything right. And they played very textbook defense. They got into the heads of the Atchison players just emotionally. You could just see they carried themselves a lot higher, as where Atchison was kind of more, if something didn't go their way, their shoulders were slumped, or they weren't going into timeouts and stuff. They just weren't really having a good time and just struggling once Labette County made their way back. And they just focused on, just scoring the little points here and there, slowly chipping away at that lead, and then eventually they found themselves up. And so it was just really, really awesome to see, these girls battle back in that situation. And I know Coach Volmer was super proud of these girls, and we even got to talk to Kate O'Brien afterwards as well. And so it was just a lot of fun, especially made up for the 3.5-hour drive that these ladies had, as I kind of joked saying all these road games, that kind of prepped them for that one. As it was definitely a good win. But yeah, they played well. It was just a beautiful example of, just what continuing to work hard and battle back in those situations sometimes can pay off.
As we make our way into the player highlights portion of the Tank Connection pregame show, 10.5 minutes until tip. From Altamont, Kate O'Brien scored 20 points in that Atchison contest. She just had 6 points in the first half, didn't even make a 2-point bucket or a free throw. They were both 3-point baskets. But in that third and fourth quarter, her assists were on a different level. And the recipient of most of those assists were Aubrey Boss, who had 9 points all in the second half. All of them played a major, major role in that Labette County comeback. Talk about what Aubrey Boss did to be in the right place at the right time, but credit her absolutely for having the will to hang in there and know where to be for her point guard, Caton, to give her some dimes.
Yeah, it definitely was. I mean, I feel like that game was just a huge opportunity of growth for her as a varsity basketball player. I mean, it was just, like you said, yeah, she really did good of moving and making plays off of the ball or away from the ball and being in those positions to score or make a good pass and really facilitate her team. That was something I was really impressed with. It was sometimes basketball players we can get caught standing and watching or not really. I mean, you run a set play, but you don't necessarily go outside of that always. But Coach Fulmer really encouraged her team to play basketball and just be creative with it, and Aubrey did that phenomenally. It was really fun to just watch her. You could see her smiling, having a good time as she just continued to make plays for us. And I mean, yeah, she did really well as far as making herself available to the team and just being able to be in those positions to make the plays. So I definitely think we'll see her more tonight as well. And it's exciting to just continue to watch her grow here with this Lady Grizzlies squad.
Labette County had 9 different scores in that ball game. 8.5 minutes until tip. This has been the front half of your Tank Connection pregame show of Grizzly basketball. We're going to step aside for a 30-second break, and when we come back, we're going to talk some SEK standings. Welcome back to the Tank Connection pregame show as we're going to look at the SEK standings from the girls part of it. As still in first place are those Independence Lady Bulldogs and the Fort Scott Lady Tigers. That game, let's see, when is that contest? But it is going to determine who is or who are your SEK champion or champions. It is this coming Friday. It is, let's see, it is Independence hosting Fort Scott. So the game, I couldn't remember. The game is in Independence. So regardless of if Independence wins or loses tonight or Fort Scott wins or loses tonight, that game on this coming Friday in Independence is going to be for an outright title from one of these two teams or a share of the title in Independence. So an SEK champion will be crowned Friday night in Independence, Kansas. Everyone else is out of the runnings. Independence and Fort Scott are each 9-1 inside the SEK early on in the winter months, or in terms of SEK play, I should say. Those two teams definitely solidified themselves. It was going to be a 2-horse race, and it was. Independence is home against Chanute tonight. Fort Scott is at home against Coffeyville. So those are 2 games that each of these teams should win. So coming Friday, barring an upset tonight, it will be Independence and Fort Scott each at 10-1 in the league, duking it out in Independence. That will be a blast in Bulldog country. In third place, the Parsons Lady Vikings are 6-5. They are off tonight, and they lost at home to Indy 36-48 on Friday night. In fourth place are your Labette County Lady Grizzlies, playing tonight for a tie in that third place spot. They're 5-5. They won at Atchison by 3, 62-59 on Friday. In fifth place in the girls' SEK standings, Chanute is at 4-6. They're at Independence tonight, and they beat Coffeyville on the road by 5 on Friday. In sixth place, as the Lady Grizzlies make their way onto the floor here just below us, throwing some plastic basketballs to their fans, into the crowds. That's a fun way to kick off senior night here in Harrison. In sixth place, Coffeyville, 2-8 in the league. They are at Fort Scott tonight. They lost at home to Chanute by 5, 44-49 on Friday. And in seventh place, Pittsburgh, 1-10, the team that we're facing this evening. They lost at home to Fort Scott, 15-41 on Friday, as Isabel will get into the trenches of those Purple Dragons upcoming in our opponent preview here in just a moment. But 15 points put up by this Pittsburgh team on their home floor against one of the best teams in the SEK. So, you know, I can understand why, but 15 points, I would assume Pittsburgh's going to have to put up more than 15 tonight to win here in Altamont. 4.5 minutes until tip. Those are your girls' SEK standings. We'll step aside for 30 seconds, and when we come back, Isabel Redford will provide tonight's opponent preview of the Lady Purple Dragons.
As we welcome you back inside the broadcast tonight, as we're still continuing with our Tank Connection pregame show, as we're going to take a look now at our opponents tonight, that being the Lady Dragons of Pittsburgh. As Jack mentioned earlier, they are 1-18 on the season and 1-10 inside the SEK, sitting at last place, and their only win has been against our rivals, the Parsons Vikings. And so it's just been an interesting season for these Lady Dragons. As the first time that we played them, it was on January 13th, and we were at Pittsburgh. This LCHS and managed to eke out a win with the score being 45-35, with Nevaeh Jones being the leading scorer with 15 points, and Kate O'Brien with 13. As on the Lady Dragons side, Jackie Hall was the leading scorer with 17 points. And then after that, the next highest scorer was not even in double figures. So it's interesting because this team is very talented. They have a lot of talent. They've got the skills. It's just been interesting because I don't know if anyone quite knows why they can't kind of fit this all together to be a better team than their record shows. We were definitely nervous going into playing them the first time around, as they had not won a game on the season, and I believe they were 0-7 or 0-8, and so it was one of those things where we thought that might be where they pulled the surprise win. But they only are averaging a scoring of 33 points per game, where your Lady Grizzlies average 42.2 points per game. And so it's interesting because these ladies, their leading scorer is Jackie Hall, and she averages about 15 points per game, but there's not really anybody that is supporting her in that role. So she really is the backbone of this Lady Dragons team. And she is extremely impressive. She's a really good athlete. And she does a lot for this Lady Dragons offense and defense. Another standout player, in my opinion, is Desi Gorley. She does a lot. She's their next highest, scorer on average, but she's really good defensively. She'll get up in your face and try to pickpocket you, which is something that these Lady Dragons did against our Lady Grizzlies the last time these teams met, as there was 18 turnovers on these Lady Grizzlies the last game. And so it was just unfortunate, as the defense is really what these Lady Dragons are good at. And so for these Lady Grizzlies tonight, they're going to have to be able to handle their defense. We are really good at giving teams pressure, but we don't necessarily always handle that the best, and sometimes that can get in our heads a little bit. So it's really going to be a game of turnovers. We need less turnovers than them. We need to, on our defensive end, cause more of those issues and really cause them to be the one to make the mistakes instead of us. Another thing is, as I mentioned, Jackie's kind of their standout player. I think if these Lady Grizzlies could keep her on lock and keep her from scoring, above her average or at her average, then they definitely have a chance to run away with the game tonight. But that doesn't mean you don't guard anybody else or, still play tough the whole way through. That's something that, these Lady Grizzlies know, and Coach Fulmer's talked to them about, so it'll definitely be a good one here in Harrison. That's just a little look in on these Lady Dragons, and we will see here what this game holds in store for us here in about 30 seconds.
Thank you, Isabel. That was tonight's opponent preview of the Lady Purple Dragons of Pittsburgh on the Tank Connection pregame show, and that'll do it for the pregame show. We'll be back in 30 seconds with the starters, the scene setter, and tip-off. Welcome back to Harrison Gymnasium, where the atmosphere is continuously growing. It is senior night for Labette County. Friday night will be Tamashaw. We'll go ahead and get starters rattled off for you. First for the visitors from Pittsburgh. Number 1, a 5'8" junior, Jacqueline Hall. We'll call her Jackie Hall this evening. Number 2, a 5'5" senior, Desi Gorley. Number 4, a 5'5" freshman, Anna Jorge. Number 20, a 5'8" sophomore, Gabrielle White. Number 22, a 5'2" sophomore, Alyssa Hotze. For Labette County, they have 3 seniors on the roster, and all 3 of them are normal starters. So, sometimes on senior night, a coach will start seniors even if they wouldn't usually start, but that's not the case for Coach Vollmer. Here are the starters for the Lady Grizzlies. Number 10, a 5'5" junior, Peyton O'Brien. Number 11, a 5'7" junior, Nevaeh Jones. Number 14, a 5'4" senior, Audrey Dewey. Number 24, a 5'9" senior, Shelby Wilson. Number 34, a 5'8" senior, Ridley Lynn Cherney. Head coach for the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons, Chris Popp. Assistants, Dalton Gromer, Jordan Stout-Mitchell, and Ella Hendrickson. Head coach for Labette County, Brianna Vollmer. Assistants, Heather Wilson and Addison Evans. We'll be back in 30 seconds after tonight's scene setter for tip-off from Altamont. Broadcasting live. Meister for 3 in the lead! Yes! From the studio of KLKC Parsons, Wilson launches another 3, and it's pure for Shelby Wilson! This is Grizzly Basketball on 106.7 FM KLKC Parsons. Unbelievable win! I cannot believe it! All 10 athletes are upon the hardwood just below us in Harrison Gymnasium, and we're moments from tip-off. Shelby Wilson toe-to-toe with Anna Jorge. Ref comes in between the players, tosses it in the air, and Shelby wins it. Possession 1 for Labette County. Nevaeh Jones will start with it off the kick from Caton. Now Shelby deep corner. The senior reverses it to fellow senior Audrey Dewey. The third and final senior on this team's the post down low, trying to catch the dump down, but it's intercepted by White, and here comes Pittsburgh.
As that was the right idea by Dewey, as Ridley was wide open for that easy 2-point bucket, just got intercepted by White.
Pittsburgh with a try at it, 0-0 the score, just 30 seconds into the contest if you're just joining us. Labette County in a man-to-man defense, switching all ball screens. Nevaeh Jones upon the basketball handler. That's Jackie Hall. Flips it left side. Leading scorer gets it right back. Hall dumped down. It's Jorge trying to post up on Shelby in the trenches. It's lost by Hall, but a foul is called going up, I think he said. So Jackie Hall's going to try to break the ice and shoot 2 free throws.
As the foul will be on Kate O'Brien. That's her first personal foul, first team foul for the Lady Grizzlies.
Hall's first free throw is good. This is a Pittsburgh team that just has 1 win on the year at Parsons. Won it by 4. Tough place to win against a good team, so certainly can't count them out here this evening. Second is missed by Hall. Rebound Lynn Cherney. Here come the Grizzlies down 1-0, 60 seconds in. Audrey Dewey, top of the key, right in line with the rim. Switching left to right. High dribbles, pounding it hard off the wood, and a foul's called on Jorge. That's a block on her. That's the first on Pittsburgh and the first on Jorge. Here's a nice cut off the inbounds. Wilson hoists one in traffic, misses it. Skies for her own rebound, and a jump ball is initiated by Gorley. Possession arrow, Pittsburgh.
That was a good effort there by Shelby, as she just kind of went for that 50-50 ball and kept Pittsburgh from getting a fast break.
Hall calling for it as Labette County's in that stingy token press. Now they drop back. Nevaeh Jones moving laterally left to right. Hall dishes it off. Here's a baseline drive from Hotze. Nothing there. Here's Hall once again. Left hand, 2 pounds. Hook is no good. On the deck, Dewey's fouled. Hits the deck hard, gets up like nothing happened. As White for Pittsburgh walks the other way. That's Gabrielle White patting her chest saying, "That's on me."
Yeah, as Audrey is not afraid of contact in the slightest. So way to take that foul for there from Dewey.
Yeah. as Dewey probably does more sacrifices of her body in a game than anyone else on this team. She'll hit a deck for anything. 1-0 Pittsburgh. Nevaeh in the corner for three, wide open, misses it deep. Wilson fighting and losing the battle. It'll be Pittsburgh basketball as Coach Pop, the whole possession, was trying to clap real loud in the corner as no one but him saw Nevaeh wide open right here.
Yeah, she definitely had a good look on the ball, so you can't be frustrated with her on that, as it almost went in, just bounced off the back rim.
Pittsburgh with it with a 1-point lead. Pittsburgh in their road purple uniforms, white numbers. Labette County, home whites, red numbers, gold trim. Left side trying to work is Hotsey. Ball reversal trying to take place. Labette's on-ball defense has been pretty good. Student section filling in, chanting defense. Pittsburgh still with it. The ball's yet to go in the paint on this possession.
Yeah, as Labette County's defense is just doing a really good job right now of being efficient and reducing paint touches for the Lady Dragons.
White pressured hard by Ridley, loses it but gets it back near half court. If there was a shot clock in high school, it would have rang years ago. Long possession for Pittsburgh, nearing the 5-minute mark, still 1-0, but time of possession is by far in favor of Pittsburgh. And after all of that, Desi Gorley travels upon the left wing. Checking in is Landry O'Brien for Labette County, replacing Audrey Dewey. Isabel, talk about how vital Landry is to this team's performance.
Yeah, she is definitely just somebody that adds that extra spark. You know, we talk about Kagan Bates being that spark for the guys team. Landry is definitely that for the Lady Grizzlies. As anytime she gets put in, there's immediately action, or she really gets this team fired up mentally a lot of times. So, yeah, she's definitely a nice addition to the floor.
Shelby wide open from just inside the three-point line and gets it to fall for Labette County's first points of the game, 2-1. Labette County 4:40 first quarter.
As she is just such an accurate shooter when she doesn't think and just shoots the ball, as that's, I think, what just happened there.
4:30 first quarter. Senior night from Grizzly territory. Hall's first three-point attempt is in and out. Rebound Landry. Long skip pass to her sister Caton, driving baseline. Nice hook pass. Ridley is fouled. Third is a team on Pittsburgh. That's on Ana Jorge, the starter's second personal foul. And Coach Pop sends in a substitution, Aaron O'Connell. As also in for Labette County, Addison Rexwinkle replaces Nevaeh Jones. Caton, the inbounder, underneath the basket to the right side. Long pass to Ridley, catches it just in front of Addison. They were stacked in there like two pancakes at the top of the key. Caton off a ball screen, threes off the glass. Rebound, slipped through the hands of Landry. Ball's on the deck. That's going to be a jump. Possession, Labette County.
That was good hustle there by all of those Lady Grizzlies involved there, as they were ended up getting the jump ball and saving a possession there.
.406 first quarter. Labette just with 2 points, but Pittsburgh just with one. Not what one may call an offensive affair early on. Rexwinkle in the corner, had baseline, didn't take it. She'll reverse. Landry drives hard, near travel, reverse. Caton pounding left paw, up under, near travel again, and will kick it out. Rexwinkle open for three, top of the key, short. Shelby skies for it, wins it. Here's Landry underneath off the give. A pass nearly intercepted by Pittsburgh, remains with Caton. Drives with the left, a bounce pass is going to go out of bounds as Ridley just couldn't quite get her fingers upon the pumpkin.
Yeah, as that was just some good dribble driving offense by Labette County, as they did a good job penetrating. Just didn't get anything to fall there. But, yeah, Ridley would have been wide open if Caton's pass had just been a few seconds earlier.
Caton is so good at that, driving, forcing the help defense, and then kind of throwing a hook pass around that defender to the wide open teammate. Here's a steal, Caton O'Brien. She got it away. Landry up ahead. A bounce pass is off a Hall, as Landry being a little bit too unselfish right there. Possibly could have made the left-hand layup. Caton to inbound. Coach Pop very active. Left block Wilson. Good backdoor. Rexwinkle's fouled and he'll shoot two. That was a nice backdoor from Addison Rexwinkle.
Yeah, that was just a really good inbounds play drawn up there by Coach Vollmer. As Shelby did a good job sealing that lower block off for Addison to get to the rim and get the 2 fouls.
Addison's first free throw is short, died off the front of the rim. 3:07 first quarter, 2-1 favor Labette County. 3 dribbles and a near air ball. Rexwinkle's shot barely grazed the rim. Pittsburgh back with the ball. I think they're wanting a timeout. And Coach Pop wants 30 seconds with his squad. It's a low-scoring game here in Altamont. 2:59 first quarter, 2-1 Labette. 30 seconds will return on KLKC Parsons.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the 4-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
I still have a lot of lead left inside my pencil as I've only had to write down 2 different scores for these teams. Isabel, walk us through why the score is just 2-1 as Pittsburgh inbounds for another offensive series.
Yeah, as neither team has really had anything going offensively, but both defenses, as I kind of mentioned in the pregame, it's just both defenses are being really tough and stingy right now, not letting either team get good looks at the basket. And that's going to be a double dribble there by Aaron O'Connell, so that's going to be a turnover for the Lady Dragons with Labette County getting the ball.
Caton O'Brien running point. Pittsburgh kind of running a similar press that Labette runs, and a lazy pass from Rexwinkle nearly, or should have, I should say, resulted in a turnover, but it goes out of bounds off of O'Connell as Rexwinkle turned and just threw an anticipation pass, assuming her teammate would be there. Labette will try in the half-court set. They get it in. Wilson snatches it with the right hand. Allie Martin in the game underneath right block. Turn and kick, now ball reversal. Left wing, Caton O'Brien in front of the far official. She'll drive, fader, floater off the glass. Wilson tipped it to Caton, and a foul is called, and 2 free throws coming up for O'Brien. Coach Pop was hoping the refs would bail his team out there.
That'll be the first personal foul on O'Connell.
Caton's first free throw is good. Labette County up 3-1 now. A few Grizzlies check in, all 5 on the floor in white are Nevaeh Jones, Audrey Dewey, Caton O'Brien, who's shooting a free throw, and no one will check in for her if she makes it. No one's down there. Ridley Lynn Cherney and Landry O'Brien. For Pittsburgh, another substitution. On the floor for the Purple Dragons is Ava Hurt. Caton gets both of them to go. Hurt checked in for Gorley. 2:15, Labette up 4-1. This is a Pittsburgh team as the ball's tipped out of bounds. Stays with Pitt. Pittsburgh team coming off of a game against Fort Scott, a good team, obviously, but they just scored 15 points, did Pittsburgh. Not off to the best start are either of these teams, as if it was kept up at this pace, the final score would be 16-4. Of course, jokingly I say that. 2 minutes left, first quarter, Labette up 3. Pittsburgh loves to be real patient beyond the 3-point line. They want to get into the paint, and now they do. Landry swiping at it, and a foul is called. Lots of whistles as both teams look a little bit lazy laterally tonight and just want to gamble with their hands.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of those. I've seen either coaches mentioned it to their team several times, move your feet, be aggressive. As a lot of times you gamble with your hands, you're going to get a foul called every time. And I think that's what we're seeing here, especially there with Landry.
At the line shooting 2's O'Connell. She splits the pair to make it 4-2. Her and Hall each have 1 made free throw in the contest. Minute 54, the clock is frozen, and now it starts ticking. Landry O'Brien with the basketball. Pittsburgh's press has had a bit of an impact, forced a couple tip balls, but I'm not so sure a turnover quite yet if I remember correctly. Whistle blown, foul called on Hotsey, as that's Pittsburgh's 6th as a team, if it is their 6th, as these refs are calling every hand check imaginable. Checking in for Pittsburgh's Desi Gorley for Hotsey, that's her 2nd. Landry picks up her dribble, dishes right side Dewey. Pittsburgh in a man-to-man defense. Here's a nice slip. Wilson is blocked at the rim by O'Connell off the feed from Audrey, and Labette will inbound underneath their own rim again.
As that was still just a beautiful pick and roll there from Dewey and Wilson, as she almost had a wide open look underneath the basket.
Long pass to Nevaeh. She'll drive deep. Cradle, shoot, miss, and she gets her own rebound. Outlet to Ridley, now back beyond the three-point line. The ball settles. Landry with it, calls for a screen, elects to fade off of it, shoots a three, air balls, rebound Wilson. Ball is on the deck and a foul is called. That's a hold on O'Connell. 1-and-1 opportunity for Shelby Wilson.
That'll be Aaron O'Connell's 2nd personal foul, as it looks like Gabriella White's going to sub in for her, and O'Connell will take a seat as Shelby sets her foot on the line to shoot her first free throw.
The front end from Shelby is perfect, nothing but nylon. One more for the senior, as we will hear from all 3 of Labette County's seniors and Coach Vollmer at halftime of the boys' game. Both free throws are made from Shelby. 6-2 Labette County up 4. 4-point lead in this one. As of right now, feels like a lot. Jackie Hall for 3. Misses it deep. Caton with the board. 60 seconds and counting. Here comes Labette County up 4, looking for more. Dewey backdoors, catches it. A little bit of a lane. Hurls one to Caton. Went high in the air. I think it was tipped. Caton, short corner. What a bounce pass. Dewey with space. Heaves it. Misses it. Ridley's putback's good, plus the foul. Lynn Cherney getting it done underneath the rim.
Yeah, as we're finally seeing these Lady Grizzlies really get to the heart of the center of the court and just being able to take it right at the Lady Dragons, drawing those fouls and making the easy putbacks. As that was great work there by Ridley Lynn to get the and one.
Ridley's three-point play is converted. Pittsburgh with it down 7, 40 seconds to go. Ridley just had 2 points against Atchison. Nice to see her already with 3. Hurt, trapped in the corner, gets it out to Hall.
As it looks like they might elect for one shot here, as Jackie Hall looked back and consulted her coach.
She'll switch to her left hand, now to the right, loses it. Dewey's gonna pick it up. Every time Dewey's gonna win that. As Hall tried to create the jump ball, but Dewey just so strong. Dewey pushing it. Lynn Cherney gets her man to bite, kicks it out. Nevaeh for 3, got it! 6 seconds to go, and Nevaeh hits it to put Labette up by 10. At the buzzer, Hall for the 3, off the glass, no good. Great sequence there from Audrey Dewey on both ends of the floor, and Nevaeh Jones to cash in the check. At the end of 1, Labette 12, Pittsburgh 2. We'll be back in 60 seconds with quarter number 2.
My name is Bria and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Lady Grizzlies lead Pittsburgh 12-2, as with some minutes to go in that contest, it was, what, Isabel, 4-2, 4-1, something of the sort?
Yeah, it was extremely low scoring game, and thankfully Labette County's picked it up a little bit, but Pittsburgh's still struggling to get something going here on offense.
Yeah, with 2 minutes and 20 seconds left in the first quarter, it was 3-1 Labette County, so a lot of scoring picked up there in the final couple minutes of the first round. Pittsburgh with it to begin the second quarter. In the game for Coach Pop's squads, number 21, a 5'7" freshman, Odessa Reed. Reed comes off of a screen, and she'll fade to the short corner. They're going to reverse it. Here's White. Trying to get it to Hall, as just about every possession runs through Hall. Nevaeh Jones encouraged by her bench. Good defense upon Jackie Hall. Another set play for Pittsburgh. They've probably ran 2 to 3 set plays on average every half-court set. I don't know if they're just that slow of a developing team in the half-court, or Labette's defense is so tight.
Yeah,
I think maybe both.
I think it is a little bit of both, because while Labette County's defense is really good, Pittsburgh has struggled to just get something going as far as running what they want to. So
right.
I think it's just a slower developing offense.
As Landry picks up her second personal foul, and the third on Labette County as a team, as Aubrey Boss checks in for Landry. She'll sit with 2, as Aubrey's a player we highlighted in our pregame show. She had 9 points, second leading scorer behind Caton against Atchison, and was a huge part of that comeback up north. Addie Drake, a 5'2" senior in the game for Pittsburgh as well, off the foul. Stoppage of play, a few subs came in. 6:45 in the first half, 12-2 Labette County. Hurt with it right wing, trying to work on Aubrey Boss. Aubrey's trying to want her to go baseline. He's willing Hurt up to drive it there. She doesn't do it. Here's Hall, skip pass, left wing. On the floor, Drake. One dribble and a kick. Man, it's just slow sequences. Now they get it into the paint. The first touch of the possession. Reed harassed by Ridley, and she travels. Those are long possessions.
Yeah, that's just eating time off the clock. That was just painful to watch there, as Labette County's going to bring the ball back down the floor.
Pittsburgh kind of picking them up a little bit. Wilson escapes it. Up ahead to Aubrey, left wing. Dump to Ridley. Nevaeh, head fake to 3, pulls it belt high. She'll reverse. Aubrey flashes, catches up, under, off the glass, good. That's pretty from Aubrey Boss.
She has had a lot of practice with that shot, especially last game, so no surprise she was able to make it with the defender in her face there.
She had 2 purple jerseys blanketing her vision. Faked high, got them both to bite, and went right underneath the purple blanket. As Gus the Gorilla from Pittsburgh State University has made an entrance, the recruiting team of Pitt State is down for senior night here in Altamont, giving away 2 $1,000 scholarships. So if you're a senior sitting on your couch listening, get on down here and put your name in the pot, and hopefully your name will be drawn for a $1,000 scholarship. 5:15 second quarter. Labette up a dozen. As I had plenty of time to discuss different matters as such, as Pittsburgh takes a long time on their offensive series. Hall is going to lose it, but we'll go ahead and call it a pass as Hurt corrals it in the corner. Right elbow, Caton harassing the ball handler, Reed. Hall just settles in between the referee and the half-court line. Comes off a screen, shoots an awkward three-pointer, fading left, misses it. Ridley had the rebound go in and out of her hands, and then Boss steals it away from Drake. Aubrey Boss, an instant impact off the bench. Caton gives a dump down to Ridley, who's wide open on the left block and lays it in. That's about as easy as it gets for Ridley Lynn Cherney.
Yes. She's used to making that through contact, but to leave her wide open like that, she's going to make that all day long.
A whistle, stoppage of play. A foul on Aubrey Boss, that's her first and the team's 4th, but something that I've noticed, even with that foul there on Aubrey, she's comfortable. She's loose.
Oh,
Sometimes, I mean, heck, we're what? The second game until the end of the regular season. So, and Aubrey's a sophomore playing some varsity this year. Sometimes you feel like a foul is as if you made a mistake. Sometimes a foul is a result of confidence and looseness. So it's good to see some of these moves from Aubrey on the floor. Halfway mark, second quarter. Been kind of a drag here from Altamont, if I do say so myself. Pittsburgh yet to make a field goal. They have 2 points off of 2 made free throws from Hall and O'Connell. Watch, this will probably go in. A three-pointer is nearly in, but an offensive rebound is snagged down. Here's Hall up, under, and a shooting foul, and she'll shoot 2.
Yeah, it's Jacqueline Hall. That was a good move by her there as she's just trying to get something going for this Pittsburgh offense. As that'll be Shelby Wilson's first personal foul.
First free throw is good for Hall. Ridley Lynn Cherney checks out, as does Aubrey Boss. In for those two's Audrey Dewey and Allie Martin. The other 3 on the floor are Shelby Wilson, Kaiten O'Brien, and Addison Rexwinkle. On the floor for Pittsburgh is Erin O'Connell, Jackie Hall, who made her second free throw, but a lane violation is called on Hall. And wave off the made free throw. It's Labette County basketball. The other Purple Dragons on the floor are Drake, Reed, and Gorley. 3:30 second quarter. A zip pass is tipped out. Nice hustle back defense by Odessa Reed, and Labette will inbound from underneath their own goal.
As Addison was ready and waiting for that easy bucket, and Reed was able to fly into the passing lane.
They get it in. Dewey, her heels upon the black three-point line, arcing from corner to corner. Kaiten switches hands right to left, gives it to Rexwinkle off the cradle. Back to Kaiten, left wing. Dewey cuts away, doesn't get it. Kaiten, floater from 6 is no good. The teardrop almost fell. Dewey sticking with it, trying to create the jump ball, but clearing space is O'Connell.
She almost did get the jump ball there with O'Connell, but just decided to eventually get back and play some defense on the other end.
2:50 second quarter, 16-3 Labette County over Pittsburgh. Hall gets an angle on Rexwinkle and gets the bucket plus the foul. And so that's Pittsburgh's first made field goal of the game, and Hall has 4 of Pittsburgh's 5 points. The three-point play for Hall is not converted. Rebound, Allie Martin underneath. Kaiten O'Brien at the foot of the LC Grizzly paw, the logo at midcourt with the basketball. Now she comes closer to Pittsburgh's bench. Martin in the paint. Kicks it out, Addison. Now the far wing, Audrey Dewey. A skip pass to Reagan Roberts in the game, and a 3-second violation is called on Labette County. As Allie Martin turned to run down the floor and had both palms pointing to the heavens, as if that, I'm assuming that might have been on her based off her reaction. Here's Pittsburgh crossing half court. Labette's press. Oh man, that's a backcourt violation. As it kind of shocked me when she threw it, as Addie Drake was in a trap but was still facing our direction, which is the direction they did not need to go, and she just hurled it, and the second it was touched, that was an easy whistle from the official.
Yeah, she was just kind of off balance, trying to get, I think just throwing it out of desperation as if she had fallen all the way down. It may have been a travel call, so that was just kind of a desperation toss there. But nonetheless, still a turnover for the Lady Dragons.
Martin had a paint touch, but we kick it back out again. Labette playing 3 out, 2 in. Roberts kind of working high-low a little bit. Reagan Roberts for Labette County is a 5'7" junior. Allie Martin checks out, replaced by Jaden Davis. Had a concussion a couple weeks ago, might have been 3 weeks ago if I remember correctly. Good to see her healthy again, getting those varsity minutes. Another instant impact off the bench type of player. Kaiten puts the ball on the floor. She's double teamed from the front and back. Roberts, good extra pass, Nevea. in prison, tries to get out of it. Caton, a good defensive set from Pittsburgh, puts up a prayer that misses. Davis clearing space, boards it. Nevaeh from 7 misses it. Roberts saves it, but to the corner and out of bounds. Pretty good defense from Pitt, to be honest.
Yeah, as the Lady Grizzlies did not have too many easy looks there. The shot at the end from Nevaeh was pretty wide open, but yeah, Lady Dragons did a good job on that possession of not letting the Lady Grizzlies get any easy looks.
Here's a high post backdoor cut, and the layup's good. That was Pittsburgh's best offensive series by a mile, and prior to that, their best defensive series by a mile, and they nearly get a steal, but her foot was out of bounds. A nice effort far baseline by O'Connell. It'll stay with Labette, though. This is a 9-point game, and this is a big minute and 4 seconds for Labette County.
Yeah, because if you're Labette County, you'd like to score a couple more times here. You definitely can and need to just kind of keep the momentum in your favor. But right now, the Pittsburgh defense has really locked down here.
Roberts on the right wing gives a little pump fake, and it's tipped and stolen. Here's Pittsburgh with the ball, 45 seconds in the half, 16-7 your score. Got a little bit of momentum and some spunk to them. 35 seconds, second quarter. Hall calling for someone to come get it, and snagging it is Drake. Hall with it. The student section trying to trick out Pittsburgh into thinking that there's only 2 seconds left, as Gorley was going to put it up, as Pittsburgh thought there was actually 2 seconds left, but the shot was blocked and they get it back. As Desi Gorley was faked out by the Labette students that there was less time than there was. They still have it though. Hall hits the deck. That's got to be a travel, no whistle. Here's a dunk down. Nevaeh has to shoot it, and she doesn't get it off. But man, I credit Labette County's student section
Yeah,
for completely throwing off Pittsburgh's half-court set. There was about 15, 20 seconds left on the clock, and they start chanting 5, 4, 3, and Desi Gorley turns around and chucks it up, and it got blocked, and it just threw him off. That was beautiful by the Labette County student body.
Yeah.
10 minutes is running on both scoreboards. We're going to step aside for 3 minutes and come back with the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show of Grizzly basketball. Welcome into the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. Jack Leak and Isabel Redford with you on the call. Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your Grizzly basketball experience, whether that be here on the radio or on KLKC Sports on YouTube. Lucas Hayward over there monitoring the iPad and the YouTube live stream. 6 minutes until the beginning of the third quarter. First half stats for you. Labette County leads it 16-7 over Pittsburgh. At the end of the first quarter, it was Labette County 12, Pittsburgh 2, but Pittsburgh outscored Labette County 5-4 in that second quarter. Leading scorers for Labette County, Ridley Lynn Cherney had 5, Shelby Wilson had 4, Nevaeh Jones had 3, and Kate O'Brien and Aubrey Boss each had 2. For Pittsburgh, Jackie Hall had 4, Desi Gorley had 2, and Aaron O'Connell had 1. Before we dive any farther into the Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Drs. Gilmore, Newland, and Ray halftime show, we'd like to thank Labette Health for making tonight's broadcast of Labette County Grizzly basketball possible, as a few other sponsors for tonight's broadcast include the following:
Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clements Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Herman Lumber, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, the Labette Bank, the Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Teen Connection, Wood Insurance Center, the Unified School District of UST 506, the Corner Store of Altamont, Day & Zimmerman, and SCK Orthopedic.
As Isabel, with, like I said, 2 minutes, 15 seconds to go in the first quarter, I think I said it was 3-1 or 2-1. And the scoring obviously picked up. It's still an extremely low-scoring game. Tell me why, and also tell me why Labette is winning.
Well, Labette County has just made less errors than Pittsburgh, honestly, as Pittsburgh has just kind of had a slow start offensively and getting anything. They've had very long half-court sets. They've had very hard trouble getting the ball inside. But for both of these teams, their defense is really what's kind of keeping the scoring low on both sides of the court. As, you know, Labette County will come down and try to, get something going, and Pittsburgh will block it out of bounds, or they'll steal it, or different things. And they've caused Labette County to kind of sit back on their heels a little bit, especially late in that second quarter. They just really caused them some havoc there. But Labette County is also giving it right back to them. So it's one of those things where it's almost like a deadlock, but Labette County's just been able to punch through the wall a few more times than Pittsburgh's been able to. And so if that ever changes during this game, if Labette County doesn't keep up on their defensive effort and really continuing to bother the Pittsburgh offense, then they're going to definitely be in one of those situations where the gap of this lead closes. So they can't have that happen. But yeah, it's definitely been an interesting game, very slow start. But hopefully that picks up here, especially for Labette County here in this second half, as both of these teams, just defense is really what's been the big thing tonight, as far as, it being a low-scoring game and it just being a tough game all the way around.
As you hear the 3 buzzer sound throughout the gymnasium here, as that signals 3 minutes until the beginning of the second half. This has been the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show, brought to you by Drs. Gilmore, Newland, and Ray of Parsons. We're going to take a 2-minute timeout. When we come back, we will have second half action of Grizzly basketball. Last time we traveled up to Pittsburgh, our boys got beat by 39, so hopefully a different outcome here this evening. Meanwhile, game is underway. Pittsburgh with it to begin the third quarter. We'll see what Coach Pop's crew drew up inside the locker room and if they can put up enough points to get back in this one. Only down 9 is Pittsburgh with obviously loads and loads of time to work. Ball is yet to go inside the three-point line on this possession. Now they kick it in. Underneath, here's a shot off the glass, and it's good by Ana Jorge, as they had been doing that all first half, but they hadn't shot shots like that. They had kicked it out, Isabel.
Yeah, as that was definitely a much better offensive possession there than we had seen all first half from the Lady Dragons.
Kaiten O'Brien with an absolutely gorgeous pass to Ridley Lynn Churdy, who lays it in. And right when Kaiten let the pass go and it kissed off the wood, Coach Pop turned around in frustration before Ridley even shot it. But quickly the other way, White lays it in for Pittsburgh as the scoring has opened up quickly here in the third quarter, as we're joined by Gus the Gorilla over here, giving us and Lucas some high fives. As we have a foul on the other end of the floor on Pittsburgh, it's going to be Ridley Lynn Churney at the line shooting 2. As on the foul, they get Ana Jorge. That's her third, and she was just responsible for their last bucket to make it a 7-point game, as Ridley's first free throw is no good. So Jorge with 3 could be interesting, Isabel.
Yeah, that'll definitely, especially getting that foul really early as Ridley makes her second free throw, so splitting the pair. But yeah, she's definitely going to have to play more carefully now, as you're not going to want her to get any more.
6:30 third quarter, just 90 ticks into the second half. 19-11 Labette up by 8. Gorley pitches it inside at the free throw line with the basketball. Is White trying to find somebody, and it nearly goes out of bounds. Gorley saves it. Coming this way with it, trying to get downhill. Pittsburgh with a poor possession so far. Hotsey with it, reverses it, Hall, and here comes another set play. Hotsey finds Jorge playing with 3 fouls. She scored moments ago. Cradles, shoots. Goodness, she almost got the and one.
That would have been huge.
Man, yeah, oh yeah, it would have. Jorge's playing well early.
As it looks like they're going to get Audrey Dewey on the foul. That'll be her first team foul for the half.
A little bit of a conversation taking place here between the 2 officials on the call. The foul's on Audrey Dewey. First team and the first on her. Jorge misses the free throw. Landry checks in for Audrey Dewey. Now I'm paranoid. My head's on a swivel looking for Gus the Gorilla coming up behind me. Jorge misses the second, and another lane violation on Pittsburgh off a free throw. That's their second called of the game.
Is that you don't see those very often, so just unfortunate. Kind of shoot yourselves in the foot there. Don't even give your shot a chance.
Right. As even if she made it, it wouldn't have counted. That's a good point. 5:45 third quarter, Labette by 8, 19-11. Kaiten drives, shoots, misses the floater. Ridley fighting and Jorge winning. Ridley hits the deck hard. Might have taken an elbow to the face, I'm not sure. Here's a long pass, Gorley wide open and scores. Wide open.
As if you're Labette County, you've got to lock down on D. That's been too many offensive. As Jackie Hall's going to get the steal off the inbound. Ridley's going to get it back.
Saving a possession is the senior. Nevea coast to coast trying to draw the charges. Jorge, no whistle. Landry adjusts, gets closer. Off the glass, it's a miss. Rebound, Jorge. She came to play.
As she has just cranked it up on both ends of the floor here in the second half.
Pittsburgh only down 6, smallest deficit since the early goings of the contest. 4:50 third quarter. Shelby hits the deck, slow to get up. Landry, nice hands, pokes it out of bounds.
As Aubrey Boss is going to check in for Ridley Lynn, and she's going to take a breather.
Hall gets it. Pass down low. White puts it up. Blocked by Boss. Immediately letting her presence be felt by Pittsburgh on the first possession of her being subbed in. And Landry tries to zip one to Boss, and it goes out of bounds. Turnover, Labette.
His right idea by Landry as Aubrey was just wide open, just a little too fast for Boss. As Fulmer's going to call a timeout.
As Pittsburgh beat Labette County in the second quarter, and they're beating them 6-1 in the third quarter, so we'll see what's in score for Labette County. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KLKC.
With many years of combined experience, Eye Care Associates of Parsons has set the framework in providing comprehensive eye health examinations for all ages and routine vision care for families throughout the four-state area. Our optometrists and staff provide remarkable care with state-of-the-art technology to help with diagnosis and management of eye health conditions. Give us a call or visit our website to schedule your next eye exam. Eye Care Associates of Parsons. Experience modern eye care.
19-13 is the score, as I had missed a bucket as Ridley has scored all 3 points for Labette County here in the third quarter, as Pittsburgh's outscored them 6-3, not 6-1. So just a correction there in case you caught that on me. 4:20 third quarter. Hall with it, facilitating her fellow teammates. She'll settle on the right wing off the kick, and she's going to come to get it again. Every sequence, every play, every cut, everything runs through Jackie Hall for Pittsburgh. Left hand, hard dribbles, good help defense. Boss forces their leading scorer to kick it out. Hotsey, entry pass, goes to White, kicks it out. Gorley, adjust on a three, pulls it down, and another set play. O'Connell, Landry fouls Hotsey. And then that'll be her third and the team's second of the half. Shelby checks in for her.
As Landry does play extremely aggressive defense, but every once in a while, her and her sister will kind of rack up the fouls, as sometimes they gamble just a little too much. But still, good effort, though, by Landry O'Brien.
3:30 in the third quarter. Pittsburgh's had it over a minute this possession. That's probably been their average time of possession each trip down the floor. Drive by Hotsey, a nice find. Gorley would have shot it, but she bobbled it. She'll pull up from 7. She misses it. Wide open on the backside, almost got the bucket, but she does get the foul. As Pittsburgh, you hear some Dragon country behind us getting into it. The bench is getting into it. I'm not saying Labette's in trouble, but they're kind of in trouble. They got to score.
Well, Pittsburgh's not going away. You can just tell that they're here to play.
First free throw is good from White. Her first free throw of the game. She's got 3 points. Two low dribbles and a spin. Now she'll rise, shoot, and miss. Rebound Shelby. She's double teamed, uses it, the dribble that is, gets out of it. Nevaeh left wing, we need it for 3, misses it, long rebound. Rex Winkle gets it short corner. Wilson throws the pass and it's stolen away.
As that was the right idea, but just intercepted by the Lady Dragons.
19-14, just a 5-point game. Labette's been outscored 7-3 this quarter. They were outscored by a point in the second as well. Pittsburgh's played better, especially on the defensive end. White calling for someone to get it. Never faced the basket, kept her back to it the whole time. Hotsey travels in the corner off the jab step.
As Ridley Lynn's going to check in for Aubrey Boss.
And for Pittsburgh, checking in is Reed. Here's Labette County in transition, and another turnover. Ridley threw it to Reed.
As that's turning into be a problem for these Lady Grizzlies, as they're just passing even when the lanes are full, and that's turning into too many turnovers. as I would have liked to have seen Ridley either take it or just be patient and pull out from run a half-court set there.
Gorley let a three go in the corner and missed it short. Labette not slowing the tempo down at all. 2-minute mark, third quarter, Labette up 5. Ridley, right elbow, drive, shoots, bucket plus the foul for the senior. That's a big-time finish for Ridley, and she's carrying this team on her back in quarter number 3. She's got 5 in this quarter alone, all of them for Labette County.
As she got the ball turned and realized Odessa Reed was the only one really between her and the basket, and by the time she got there, O'Connell had come over for the help side defense, and she was already getting the score.
Ridley misses the free throw, but Addison gets the board. That's huge. Caton, Euro step layup, good! Caton O'Brien shifting purple jerseys in the direction she wants them to go.
As she looked comfortable doing that move there, as refs called several of those travels up at Atchison, but she was able to do that there just fine. So glad she's looking comfortable and not afraid to make that.
Just like that, it's back to 9 for Labette County.
As that'll be a foul on Caton O'Brien. That'll be her second personal foul, team's 4th. And Pittsburgh's going to inbound on the far sideline.
Minute 23, ball's pitched in. Clock ticks, Hall with it. Left wing wanted the 3, well defended by Shelby. That's been a good matchup. Reed with it. Coach Pop very vocal on the sideline, using all of his coaching box down here pacing. Here's Hall, triple teamed, gets out of it. She'll weave back to her most comfortable spot near the half court line, settling in. She's still with it.
As it looks like they may hold for one shot here as well. But she's just dribbling it as far back in the backcourt as you can.
Heels scraping the half-court line. Wilson starts to contest. She's real close to the half-court line, as sometimes it's hard to just dribble by yourself for 30 seconds. Wilson staying with it. 20 seconds now. Hall's had it for 40 seconds alone. Now she's trapped. Now she gets out of it, dribbles off her knee, hits the deck, has to find someone, finds Hotze, defended by Rexwinkle, and yeah, that's a foul. You got to have your hands out. Their hands are here, right in front. Even with her chest reaching out, fouling Hotze, as even if she's going to beat you, just keep your arms out and do the best you can and rely on that help. And even 10 seconds on the clock. That's Addison's first and Labette's 5th as a team this half. Pittsburgh just with 2. As traveling is O'Connell. As that's the thing with running long possessions, is whenever you don't score, it's like 3 minutes of wasted time.
Yeah, and you're not the one. It's not like you're the one defending, keeping the other team from scoring. You have the opportunity to go, put points on the board, and that was just unfortunate as Pittsburgh was able to come away with nothing.
4 seconds to go. The ball is in. Caton O'Brien, 2 seconds. Nice bounce pass. Rexwinkle at the buzzer. Bricks it off the rim and backboard. But Labette County and Ridley Lynn Cherney have kept it at arm's reach. Moments ago, it was a 5-point lead, and one trip down the floor pushed it back to 9. We'll be back in 60 seconds. The students are jumping here in Harrison. Labette leads by 9. Fourth quarter coming up in 1 minute on KLKC.
Everybody is different. Some get injured, while others simply wear down. Whether it's on the court, on the field, or at the gym, Labette Health's orthopedic and sports medicine team has the training and skill to repair, restore, and renew. We share the same goal, and together we'll write your comeback story. For more information about Southeast Kansas' leading orthopedic and sports medicine team, go to labettehealth.com.
V93.5 is your home for the best variety of the 80s, 90s, and today. Get your day started with the Anna and Raven Morning Show. You're the judge during couples court. Couples share their disagreement, and then you decide who's right. Think you know pop culture trivia? It could pay off, and you score the cash jackpot when you play Can't Beat Raven. Krause in the house gets you home every weekday afternoon starting at 2. Stream us anytime, anywhere at KLKCradio.com.
Fourth quarter is underway. Pittsburgh with it, down 9 to our Grizzlies. Caton with a nice steal, picks it right out of the air. Full head of steam, up ahead, Euro, up under. Oh, she almost got it to fall, trickled off the front of the rim. Desi Gorley the other way, Landry on her hip, and she misses the runner. Rebound Dewey. Labette quickly the other way with numbers. O'Brien, 2-on-1, bounce pass Ridley, finish good!
As that was a great way to capitalize on could have been an easy, another miss or another turnover, but way for the Lady Grizzlies to just kind of finalize.
And Alyssa Hotze of Pittsburgh is in some significant pain, it appears, as they stop play for her to be subbed out. I think Ava Hurt came in for her, for Pittsburgh. We wish the best to Alyssa Hotze. Hope she's okay down here. I think she's okay. Yeah. 25-14, Labette up 11, just like that. A 6-0 run for Labette. 1 minute into the fourth quarter, 7 minutes remaining. A double team and a travel on Gorley, as Labette County said, I've had enough of this 3-minute possession type thing. I've had enough of this 2-minute possession type thing. I'm going to come double and force you to turn it over, score, or pass.
Yeah, they've definitely done a lot better job of picking up that defensive pressure.
Here's a backside pass to Addison Rexwinkle, and she lays it in for 2. Labette County's rolling now. Those are Addison's first points of the game. Long pass over the head of the Labette press to Hurt. Rexwinkle gets a paw on it and steals it. Landry with her sister. Bounce pass is poked out as Landry didn't wait long enough for that defender to suck over and defend her, as she could have just kept going with it. Landry off the inbounds for 3 in the corner, and it's bottoms for Landry O'Brien. And Labette's on a 9-0 run, leading by 16.
As that was a beautiful shot by Landry, as Nevaeh Jones is going to get a steal off the press, and looks like a foul's going to be called.
As Gabrielle White didn't really foul Nevaeh, but that's a situation where the refs feel obliged to call it, as White hit the deck and her ankle got caught up around Nevaeh's ankles, causing her to fall. As it honestly hurts Labette County that they called it, as Nevaeh was just going to run out and score. Labette's up 16, as they might have had 3 points shy on the scoreboard. I'm going to have to look at that, as Nevaeh's bumped, shoots, scores. I'm surprised they didn't get the and one, but this game has broken open. Labette by 18.
As Landry's going to get a steal.
Another steal. Landry leans, shoots, and a bucket past the foul for Landry O'Brien. Leaned into the body of Jorge and got the whistle. She converts the three-point play for her first points of the game. Labette up 35-14. Underneath, scooping and scoring, is Desi Gorley. She's got 6, a nice bucket for Pittsburgh. Here's Labette County back with it. Landry all the way across half court, nearing the paint, and they're going to call a charge. That was a nice take there by Gabrielle White.
As that'll be 4th personal foul on Landry O'Brien, as Shelby Wilson's going to check in for her.
Here's Pittsburgh the other way, off the inbounds. White has it stripped underneath, and it goes off of her. It'll be LC basketball. Audrey Dewey set to inbound Pittsburgh in a full court press. Caton's going to break it. She's quick, up ahead, touches the paint, bounce past Nevaeh, off the glass, good. Caton O'Brien didn't need help to break that press, and Nevaeh just waited on that left block the whole time.
As Pittsburgh's really kind of trying to pick up their defense, and thankfully Caton was able to break that, as Nevaeh is going to, on their press, steal from the Lady Dragons.
5 minutes to play in the game. Labette back with it, up 37-16. Audrey Dewey drawing a foul, and 2 free throws coming up for AD.
as that's going to be Jorge's 5th foul, so she is done for this evening.
She played well early on in this half. She cut the lead to 7 and played a big part in getting it down to 5 as Allie Martin checks in for Ridley Lynn Cherney. Dewey at the line. First free throw is no good. Dewey's second free throw's no good as well, so Addison will have to stay at the scores table as she was set to check in. Double team far side. Hurt is bailed out by Hall. 4:30 to go in the game. Labette up comfortably by 21. As Hall just dribbling, as I bet she's taken more dribbles than anyone in the state of Kansas this whole season, as she's just the heart and soul of this team, dribbles a lot, moves pieces around a lot, burns clock a lot, as she just does so much, as a travel is called on Desi Gorley. Turnover, Pittsburgh.
As again, you burn that much clock, that's just frustrating and unfortunate for the Lady Dragons, as you don't want that kind of a turnover.
Labette gets it in. Addison Rexwinkle, now Allie Martin in front of the student section. Rexwinkle forces one up, blocked by the fingertips of O'Connell. Outstretched arms paid off for Aaron. Here's Pittsburgh, 4 minutes to go in the game. Hall dribbling with the left hand, driving short corner, shoots and scores, as that's something she hadn't done a lot tonight, is just go drive and try to shoot. That's just her second field goal of the game. She didn't score in the third quarter.
Yeah, she's really done a lot of the facilitating up top. She hasn't had much paint looks at all.
Shelby on the block with good deep position, shoots, nearly got the and one, but she'll settle for a trip to the charity stripe, as that'll be the 6th as a team on Pittsburgh. That's 3 on O'Connell. Shelby's first free throw of 2 is good. Perfect swish from the senior on senior night. Second for Shelby, off the mark. Martin a part of the rebound fight, and I thought it went off of Gorley's leg, but they'll say it's off Martin. Pittsburgh ball.
Yeah, as those free throws for Shelby will put Labette County up 20 points with 3:30 left to go in the fourth.
Hotsy in front of the pack, cradles, misses the layup. White there to put it back and score for Pittsburgh.
As Labette County did not box out whatsoever there, as I think they thought they were going to get the free ball, and they paid for that one.
Labette advancing the ball up the floor. Rexwinkle breaks the press. A travel or a carry could have been called there. Could have been called, but they let it go. Hall up ahead, gets the bucket. Oh, wow. As she missed it but got fouled. Did that not look like that was going to go in?
Yeah, I thought for sure that was going to be 2 points.
It was a pretty much wide open layup. It was contested a bit as a foul was called, but other than that, she had every right to make that, and that thing went in and then just defied gravity and went right back out. As does that free throw. She misses it.
As 3 new Grizzlies are going to check in, Landry O'Brien, Kinsley Boss, and Audrey Dewey are going to get Addison Rexwinkle, Shelby Wilson, and Nevaeh Jones.
Hall misses the second free throw, and then a foul is called, I think, on Landry based on her reaction. As they do get Landry. That's 5 on Landry. Coach Vollmer trying to plead on behalf of the sophomore. Shelby will check in for the fouled out Landry O'Brien. White at the line shooting 1 and 1, as that was the 8th team on Labette County. The front end, left foot behind the front, is no good. Dewey up ahead, running point on this possession. Nobody is stopping her. Now she runs into the body of White. Here's Kinsley Boss off the glass, trickles off the front of the rim. Might get her own miss, and she does and is fouled. That's a great effort there from Kinsley Boss.
As that'll be the 4th personal foul on Aaron O'Connell and the 7th team foul for Pittsburgh.
So that'll send Kinsley to the line for a 1-and-1, and she gets the first free throw. One more is earned from the sophomore. In the game for Pittsburgh, Addie Drake back in. Second free throw for Kinsley is no good. Rebound Hall. Jackie up ahead, still dribbling with that dominant right hand. A deep three is blocked. Never mind, I guess. A foul is called as Wilson kind of looked cockeyed at the official. But they get the whistle on Kinsley, right?
Yeah, that Kinsley, that'll just be her first personal foul. So she has some fouls to give.
Hall shooting 3 free throws and misses the first free throw, puts both hands interlocked upon her head as she has shot 8 free throws and made 2 of them. Her second of 3. This one's good. Third and final free throw with 2:35 to go in the fourth quarter. Labette up 33, 39-21. And the third free throw's good for Hall. Dewey with a nice pass to Ridley, advancing. Wilson underneath, adjusts and scores. I don't know if any dribbles were taken on that press break, but those were 3 pretty passes.
Yeah, Shelby just caught that so firmly and went straight up as she was positioned perfectly under the basket. As that was just good teamwork there by all 3 Lady Grizzlies involved.
2:10 to go. It's been a long fourth quarter, especially the last few minutes have dragged by. A deep 3 for Hall, off the mark, rebound Caton O'Brien. Here she comes. Ridley settling in the corner, defended by Reed. As Labette County's gonna win this one and force Pittsburgh to stay at the bottom of the conference. As here's a steal. Up ahead, the left-hand layup's good by O'Connell. Her third point of the game. As they're still pressing with 90 seconds to go, down 17, 41-24 the score. As Labette County will meet Parsons in third place at 6-5 as Kinsley Boss gets some more action on that block and scores another bucket. She's got 3 points.
Yes, the Lady Grizzlies are just continuing to just out-hustle the Lady Dragons here towards the end as they just are looking really well in their press breaking and their transition offenses. That's going to be an offensive foul on 21, Adessa Reed. So the ball's going to go the other way. As Coach Vollmer's going to check in a whole new crew. She's going to leave Aubrey Boss on the floor, and then Ridley, Shelby, Audrey, and Caton are going to have a seat for this game. So well done by our Lady Grizzlies here tonight.
As this is Pittsburgh's final game of the regular season, as Labette County still has one more at home on Friday against Coffeyville. The NATO coming down to Altamont to take on our Grizzlies on Friday. 56 seconds to go. Labette will inbound on the far side. 43-24, good guys on top. As a few new Purple Dragons check in. Number 23, Heaven Townsend, a 5'9 senior, and 32, Lakin LaFavor, a 5'9 senior. As Jackie Hall checks out for the last time tonight, as she hardly ever gets a break. Jaden Davis flips one up, and it falls. Caught it on the right block, had to adjust a little bit, and she got it to go. Jaden Davis, just a sophomore. I'd say the post position is in good hands, Isabel. travel on Pittsburgh's called, but Jaden Davis has been really, really good. You have the Boss twins who have grown a lot, the O'Brien sisters.
Yeah, the future of Lady Grizzly basketball is definitely promising as we've seen these ladies grow so much this season. So I'm excited to see what the next few years have in store.
As I'm excited for what the next week has in store, as Sub-State's still coming up. This is going to be a scary middle of the pack Labette County squad. 26 seconds left, it'll be Pittsburgh ball. As Labette County's kind of hovering in the middle of that pack, as I went up to Coach Vollmer before the game just to see if she had any intel on Sub-State, and she said, we're almost positive we're playing Baldwin, which doesn't mean 100%, but those are the words of Coach Vollmer, so don't quote her, don't quote me. It's not 100% we're playing Baldwin, but just to give Grizzly fans an idea of what may come. As Pittsburgh airballs a 3, clock stops at 1.3 seconds. Labette will inbound, hopefully, as they're definitely going through all the formal goings to end the basketball game. And it is over. Labette County wins back-to-back ball games for the first time since Tuesday, January 3rd, when they beat Parsons and Chanute back-to-back. So a refreshing sight to see from our favorite Lady High School squad. Grizzlies win it 45-24. We'll step aside for 1 minute and come back. Or actually, hold on just a moment. I forgot it was senior night.
Yes.
So I think they're going to do the procession here in between games right now.
Yes, I see them lining up.
Okay.
Underneath the doors on the far side of the court, so I think that's probably what will happen. I don't know how long that'll take. It depends on how many seniors we have, but
well, regardless of that, we're going to take a 1 minute timeout and go through our Bowen Pharmacy post-game show as normal, and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. So 1 minute, and the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show is after that. Post-game stats for you. Labette County wins it 45-24 as somewhere in the middle of that third quarter or late third quarter, if my memory's a little bit foggy, Isabel, this was a 4-point game, but Labette County flipped the script pretty quick, went on a 6-0 run and never looked back from there. as leading the way for Labette County was Ridley Lynn Cherney with 14 points. Shelby Wilson had 8. Nevaeh Jones had 7. Kate O'Brien had 4. Landry O'Brien had 3, along with Kinsley Boss. Aubrey Boss and Jaden Davis, along with Addison Rexwinkle, all had 2 for Labette County. For Pittsburgh, leading scorer was Jackie Hall. She was held to just 8 on the night. Desi Gorley had 6. Anna Jorge had 2. Gabrielle White had 5, and Erin O'Connell had 3. Isabella, it was a low-scoring game for a long time, but somehow Labette County got out to 45 points.
Yeah, it was definitely impressive from the Lady Grizzlies, as it was a slow start and as it was a very defensive game. But the Lady Grizzlies were able to figure out, how exactly to break down the Pittsburgh defense, and that, I think, is what led to the biggest just kind of scoring outbreak, as they did just a phenomenal job closing out the second half.
As Labette County outscored Pittsburgh 21-10 in the fourth quarter, as that's a big deal because in the first quarter and the second quarter, the first quarter and the fourth quarter tell the tale.
Yeah.
Because Labette County outscored Pittsburgh by 10 points in the first quarter and 11 in the fourth quarter. So that's 21 points, and that's how many points we won by. So in the second and third quarter, it was pretty much evens. I mean, it was low scoring in that second quarter. The third quarter, Pittsburgh came out firing a little bit. Anna Jorge hit a big bucket and played a big part, got a steal. They cut it to 5, maybe 4. I don't remember. I think it was just 5. But Pittsburgh made pushes, and Labette responded well against a team that has gotten a good road win against Parsons and was hungry for more. But Labette kept them at bay and did a nice job. I think the Boss twins are absolutely huge, and Ridley having 14 is amazing.
Yeah, that's definitely what you want out of your post-production, is for Ridley to just kind of break open and have a great night like that. And exactly, when you can have other members of your team, yes, the starters are important, but you need a whole team to contribute to be able to win games and to be able to play well, and no matter who's on the floor, to count on them to perform and do big things for your team, and that's exactly what we're seeing right now. And so it's been a lot of fun to watch this team develop and grow, and I think what we saw tonight was a prime example of that.
So Labette County moves to 9-10 on the season, and in third place in the league at 6-5, tied with Parsons. Pittsburgh moves to 1-11 in the bottom of the SEK, and their overall record is somewhere here. We have a bunch of sheets here in front of me. They move to 1-19 on the season. That'll do it for the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show of Lady Grizzly basketball. Again, Lady Grizzlies win it 45-24. We are going to take a 4-minute timeout, and that should be just about right, I think. And when we come back, we'll have that Tank Connection pregame show of Grizzly basketball. Broadcasting live from Altamont, Kansas, here on the campus of Labette County High School inside Harrison Gymnasium, home of the Labette County Grizzlies. As here this evening we have another SEK battle on deck for you, as the 8-10 Labette County Grizzlies at 5-5 inside the SEK are taking on the 13-4 Pittsburgh Purple Dragons, and mightily in front at 10-1 in the SEK. Good evening, Grizzly Nation. Thank you for tuning in to the Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. Jack Leake and Isabel Redford with you on the call. Lucas Hayward on the KLKC Sports YouTube live stream. Isabel, let's go ahead and just dive right into it, as these Pittsburgh Purple Dragons are your SEK champions, as they actually played last night at home in Pittsburgh against Riverton. So back-to-back games, that is interesting and certainly something to at least keep an eye on, a little bit, and just, keep in mind Pittsburgh did play 24 hours ago. As, let me check here, I believe that Pittsburgh has locked in an SEK title, as they do not. Yes, this is their last regular season game, so Pittsburgh cannot lose more games than they would need to lose the SEK. I could not have said that more confusing, but to put it short, Pittsburgh is locked in, your outright SEK champions. Isabel, we got thumped hard, decked, destroyed, mutilated, killed the last time we played this Pittsburgh team. It was odd. Both of us were 4-0. It was a big-time matchup in Pittsburgh, supposed to be the game of the week, and we laid an egg.
Yeah, it was definitely an unfortunate situation, as we only put up 22 points, I believe, and that's not enough really to win any game, but it definitely wasn't enough to win against such a good Pittsburgh team. So yeah, it was definitely a struggle, and I know these guys are looking to perform much better than they did the first time they met. So we will see what's in store here tonight.
11:45 until tip-off. This is your Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County basketball, as in that game at Pittsburgh when Labette County fell 61-22.
Yeah.
That certainly didn't feel like a 4-0 SEK team that night in Pittsburgh High. We shot just 19% from the field, 8 for 42 on our field goal attempts. That is about as low to the ground as you can get without kissing it, and our Grizzlies did that. It was a rough night in Pittsburgh, but hey, look, glass half full situation. That was many a sleep ago, and while this Labette County team is definitely not up off the ground at the time being, we have lost 5 straight games, and coming off a loss on the road to the #1 team in Sub-State, Atchison, where Labette County fell 51-47, a game that felt like we should have won, Isabel.
Yeah.
It really did feel like we could have, should have won that game.
Yeah, it was extremely close, and they stuck with them, and it was really good, but they just gave up too many offensive transition points, and Atchison just really had their way with that. So yeah, it was just an unfortunate, because you want to go in and knock off the top dog, and so it was definitely, they were really right there within reach. But hopefully it gives these guys the boost they need to come out and compete against these Pittsburgh Dragons tonight, because they know if they can hang with the #1 team, who knows what can happen tonight.
As in that game again, Labette County fell 51-47. They were outscored 20-11 in the second quarter, and that set the tone for what was the second half, where each team scored an even 22 points. So turnovers were a big deal, as Labette County doesn't have stats uploaded for that game in Atchison on max preps, but I'm going to guess turnovers were 15 or so in the region of, and a lot of those came in that second quarter when Atchison came alive for a stretch in the final 3 minutes and just thumped Labette County in the chin. But the rest of the way, it was even. Each team scored 22 in the second half. Hudson Baker had 15 points. Xavier Phillips had 10. Trey Vincent and Kagan Bates each had 8. And Griff Eaton had 6. So the scoring was in a small bunch, just 5 different scores, but good, healthy help, off the bench from Kagan Bates. 8 points, all of them in the first half. He's a spark plug as we make our way into the player highlights portion of our Tank Connection pregame show. Talk to me about Kagan Bates.
Yeah, he's just somebody that I think a lot of teams underestimate, because, this guy comes in not extremely tall. He's only 5'6". I mean, just a little guy, and all of a sudden he's crossing you up, making a layup, or he's done a Euro step on you, or he stole it right from you. And I think he frustrates bigger guys because it's like, man, this little guy's getting in there and getting steals and doing all this stuff, but it energizes Labette County's team because it's like, yeah, like we need somebody in there that can do that kind of stuff. And so he's just somebody that's nice to have, just to be able to continue to contribute and add. And just because he's a freshman, he doesn't let that stop him. He just likes to continue, and it's like, I don't matter what age I am, I've got these skills, I'm going to contribute, I want to help us, and that's exactly what he's done for us this season.
As we'll go into a second player to highlight, Joe Page is back, as it's very nice to see Big Joe out there as Labette County, let me pull up their schedule again. As Joe got hurt, he tweaked an ankle at the Burlington Invitational. He played against Coffeyville, which Labette County won. He didn't play at Indy, Labette lost. He played at Parsons, wasn't 100%, we lost. He didn't play at Chanute, we lost. He didn't play at home against Fort Scott, we lost. And at Atchison, he didn't play, and we lost. Joe Page brings many a thing to this Labette County men's squad. I think more important than his three-point shooting, what we've missed, is a body inside to get a board when we need it. Yes, we need 2 or 3 threes in the second half from Joe. He does that every time he plays. We need that very bad, and hopefully he can provide it. I understand it's first game back in a while. I get it. But maybe he can take out some of that on the defensive glass, get a board, get a kick. We've missed a little bit of everything that Big Joe brings to the table.
Yeah, he definitely is somebody that contributes, and you notice when he's not there, and so we have definitely missed him the past few games. As you're right, he is somebody that he'll play on defense really well, and he does have that offensive power to be able to kind of he likes to be able to shoot the 3 ball or have a big shot that'll kind of motivate this team just a little bit more of like, okay, yeah, let's go, let's do this. He's definitely had several shots that flip momentum, so definitely good to have him on the floor again.
As again, this is your Tank Connection pregame show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. We're going to go ahead and just make our way right into the SEK standings portion of tonight's pregame show. In first place in the SEK are these Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. They're at 10-1. They've locked up an outright SEK title. Again, they played last night, 24 hours ago, in Pittsburgh against Riverton, in which they won 75-60. In second place, Chanute had a chance to tie Pittsburgh for first, but couldn't beat them in Chanute. They're 7-3, 2 games out of first to Pittsburgh. They're at Indy tonight. They won at Coffeyville by 11 on Friday. Parsons is off tonight. They're 6-5 in third place. They won at home against Independence by 4 points on Friday night. Labette County 5-5 in fourth place. Lost to Atchison 47-51 on Friday night. And in fifth place, Fort Scott jumped from the bottom of the league over the last couple games to fifth in the league at 3-7. They're home against Coffeyville tonight. They did lose at Pittsburgh on Friday, 39-58. So this will be Pittsburgh's third game in a matter of 4 days. And in sixth place for Independence, they're 3-7. As Fort Scott has that tiebreaker over Indy. They're off tonight. They lost at Parsons by 4 on Friday, as I previously stated. And coming up the rear in the bottom of the SEK, a team we will see this coming Friday on Tamashaw. Coffeyville, the Golden Tornado, are 2-8 in the conference. They're at Fort Scott and lost in Coffeyville to Chanute on Friday, 36-47. So the SEK standings, the talk about it is pretty much useless as Pittsburgh's locked up that title, but it's still fun to walk your way through it a little bit as a few teams are starting to play a little bit better. Labette County has lost 5 straight. Got to get our legs under us tonight against a tough Pittsburgh squad that we have not beaten in a long time. I'll let Isabel chew up that information. Here in 30 seconds, we'll have tonight's opponent preview of Pittsburgh on KLKC.
Dragons, as we're going to get into a little bit more deeper of just this team as how they've developed on the season, and just what just their progress and different things, as this is a really good Pittsburgh team, as they are first in the SEK and they will win it outright. They are currently sitting 13-4 on the season, with their main leader being that of Mason English, number 30, as 30 is an appropriate number as he averages just around there per game, as he is just a phenomenal basketball player, and we will probably mention his name many times tonight. As the last time these Grizzlies went and visited Pittsburgh, they lost 61-22, and it was a huge deficit as Pittsburgh was just rolling, as that's kind of about where they score normally. They haven't scored under 45 points in any game they've played this season, even in losses. So this is a very high-scoring team. They did lose to Riverton on Monday, 75-60. That's a very high-scoring game to put up 60 and still lose. And so it's just one of those things where these guys love to score the basketball, and that's something Labette County did when we went to their place, and so that's something that's going to have to increase tonight if they're going to put on a performance that contests with just their level of playing. As Mason English, like I talked about, is kind of their leading guy. A few other people to maybe mention is Jackson Turnbull, number 11. He's a very aggressive guy down in the post. He's just a big-bodied, very athletic guy. He'll put up points when need to, as he's just kind of a facilitator for Pittsburgh. As I remember the last time we played him, he just did a lot of things as far as getting, Pittsburgh in good transition offense looks and different things, and he was very aggressive in the post. He kind of gave Hudson Baker a little bit of trouble. So he's just another guy that I would recommend just kind of keeping your eye out for tonight, as they just are very aggressive defensively. So now I kind of thinking about, how is Labette County going to stick with this, very aggressive Pittsburgh team. This game really isn't necessarily anything to do with the SEK, as we've mentioned, but it's more of just, you want to finish the season strong. You've lost 5 straight. You haven't beat Pittsburgh. This Grizzly team has not beat Pittsburgh since 2015, so it's been a long time since we've been able to stick a win to Pittsburgh. So it would definitely mean a lot tonight if the Grizzlies could pull out a win. But, transition offense, being able to score, it's one of those things where you have to control the tempo. These guys do a really good job of running that transition offense, so I'd like to see a lot of steals maybe up near the top of the key, being able to pass it out, get those quick, good looks. I want to see a lot of chemistry, especially underneath, and any of those kind of easy look passes that our guys do so well. I'd like to see a lot of that tonight. I know it'll be tough with the defense, but it's something I know these guys can do. And again, another thing is, you got to keep Mason English out of the game. You almost can't in a way, because he finds a way to score no matter what, and he's done that in every game he's played this season. But you have to keep your hand in his face. You got to know where he's at all times, or he's going to run away and carry the team on his back with him. So those are the keys to tonight's game, as well as a look at these Pittsburgh Dragons. So we are excited to get things rolling with you here tonight.
Thank you, Isabel. That's tonight's opponent preview of the Pittsburgh Purple Dragons. We're going to go ahead and step aside for a 3-minute timeout, and when we come back, we'll have the starters, the scene setter, and tip-off. Welcome in to Harrison Gymnasium as starters are being rattled off. Before we go any farther, I just want to say that was probably the prettiest national anthem I've heard potentially ever. Manager of Labette County's basketball team, Alyssa Berriger, just sang the national anthem to pure perfection. That was beautiful, Alyssa. That was fantastic. Starters are in for Pittsburgh. Number 1, Dan Hastings. Number 10, Giovanni Salas. Number 11, Jackson Turnbull. Number 23, Joey Chronister. And number 30, Mason English. And for Labette, it's senior night, so a different name will be in here. Number 4, Trey Vincent. Number 5, Griffin Eaton. Number 23, Matthew Boyle. And number 24 is 6'1" senior Zach Renfro. And number 33, Joe Page. Good to have Big Joe back. Each team in one final huddle with their head coaches. Leading the way for Labette County's head coach Bradley Argebright, assistants Brian Tucker and Davey Brown. Head coach for Pittsburgh, Jordan Woods. Assistants Matt Butler, Gavin Pitlawani, and Kylie Rolfs. We'll be back after tonight's scene setter of Grizzly basketball for tip-off from Altamont. Broadcasting live. Meister for 3 in the lead! Yes! From the studio of KLKC Parsons, Wilson launches another 3, and it's pure for Shelby Wilson! This is Grizzly basketball on 106.7 FM KLKC Parsons. Unbelievable win! I cannot believe it! Tip is won by Pittsburgh, and we are underway. This would be a big win for our Grizzlies. Pittsburgh trying to go inside. Renfro getting the start on senior night, nearly gets the steal. Salas gives it to English. English, one of the better players, by far the best in the SEK, but one of the better in the state. In between the legs, off the ball screen, in traffic, kick to the corner, that's pretty, three-pointer, off the mark, tipped by Renfro, rebound Turnbull of Pittsburgh. Here's the steal, Joe getting the pick.
As that was phenomenal defense on a first possession, as it can be easy just to give up those first 2 points easily, but Labette County holding their ground.
Eaton working on English. Vincent uses the ball screen set by Renfro, and Vincent trips and falls. Here's Pittsburgh out in front, bounce pass to Salas, waits and scores. Two to 0 Pittsburgh here early. Labette County just with their second possession here. Trey Vincent facilitating at the top of the key, defended by Chronister. He'll drive, shoot, foul on the shot, so Trey will shoot 2 free throws. Trey's first free throw is good. .634 first quarter. Salas lined up with Turnbull on the blocks, and they box out as Vincent misses the second free throw. English with a dump down to Turnbull, and he scores it.
As they are having no problem working inside the paint on those last 2 possessions.
Three-pointer for Matthew Boyle. It's good for the senior. Gives a firm high five to Trey Vincent, and Labette ties it at 4.
As he was just wide open at the top of the key and sank that with a lot of confidence.
As I didn't see who made it, I was writing down Matthew's three-pointer. It was English.
Yeah, English scored a flawless runner as he just has that perfect touch as it went right in.
As Vincent gets a little Euro step and scores. That's pretty from Trey Vincent. We're knotted up at 6, 5:40 in the first quarter. English goes to the right side. Nice help defense from Page. Tries to get Eaton to bite. Good defense from the senior point guard. Turnbull for 3. Good.
As he is just an athlete all around, as he definitely serves the post presence at times, but also can shoot the perimeter shot as he just did there.
Vincent driving, kicks it, Page, his favorite spot, got it! Joe Page, it's good to see those three fingers kiss the air inside Harrison. He is back.
As you definitely missed those shots, as it's good to see.
English harassed by Eaton, leans, shoots, misses, gets his own rebound, and a foul is called, a late whistle on Labette County.
As Pittsburgh will get set to rebound it under their own basket.
First on Joe Page, and the first as a team on Labette. Hudson Baker checks in for Zach Renfro, senior, getting the start on senior night. Ball goes in. Who's it off of? Off of Labette. It'll stay Pittsburgh basketball. Hastings, set to throw it in, gives it to English, drives with the left hand, pulls up from inside the free throw line and converts. Labette already moving. Boyle hit the deck awkwardly and throws it in between English's legs to Eaton while he was on all his knees. Here's Baker underneath, harassed, and a foul is called on Pittsburgh as Turnbull and Salas pose a decent threat down there on the blocks.
It was nice to still see, though, because Hudson was kind of shut down last game pretty well, and so it's nice to see him coming at it aggressively early.
Baker bends, shoots, and scores.
As he's going to get the lucky roll as it bounced off the back iron and went in on the left side.
11-10 Pittsburgh, 4:25 first quarter. Xavier Phillips in for Griff Eaton, and Kagan Bates in for Matthew Boyle, or vice versa. Hudson Baker's second free throw is good as well. Knotted up at 11, a lot better than the last matchup so far. English sheds some space and cashes a 35-foot three for Pittsburgh. Labette looking to respond. Page wants it, rotates it. Phillips for the tie, right corner, in and out. Here comes Pittsburgh. English might pull up. He will. Three-pointer, good.
As he just scores at will, as that's a quick 6-0 run for English.
The second he caught the ball on the outlet, I could have told you that three was going up.
Yeah.
Vincent between the legs, snatches it back. Kagan Bates defended firmly. Hastings pick and roll, well defended by Salas. Baker, foot on the three-point line, defended by Salas. Ball fakes, drives left side. He'll drive, and he's fouled again. I don't remember who the first one was on. If that's on Salas, it could be his second. As I said, I don't exactly remember. It's just his first.
So I think that last foul went on Turnbull.
Okay. It's Salas's first. Hudson misses the first free throw. Hudson, his second, is no good as well. Rebound, Joe Page somehow, and scores it.
As he did not give up on the rebounding there. And so nice effort from number 33.
That's what we've been missing. He'll bring the three-pointers. We've been missing plays like that.
Yeah.
Kagan Bates is on English, and Joe Page just picked up his second foul of the game.
As Matthew Boyle's going to check in for Page, and he'll have a seat. And then number 33 for Pittsburgh, Chase Hembry, is going to check in for Salas, so he'll have a seat as well.
Pittsburgh by 4. English looking for his third three of the game, misses it. That's got to be a foul on Pitt, and it is. Into the game for Pittsburgh. Thank you, Isabel. It is Hembry oh, that's on Carew. It's on Ryan Carew, his first, and Pittsburgh's fourth. Labette just with 2 crimes committed in the first quarter. It's been action-packed, high-scoring, opposite of the first game. Vincent off the give and go. Boyle in the corner for 3. Front rim, hit rim again, misses. Baker's there, stripped of it, and it stays with Labette as it tumbled behind the Pittsburgh cheer squad. Trey Vincent to inbound, throws it to Baker. Over Turnbull. Phillips now, right wing Boyle. Back to Phillips, ball reversal far side. Trey Vincent left wing. Kagan Bates throws it. Baker, left elbow, faced up on. He'll turn, good dump down Boyle, as man, he could have shot that. Here's Vincent, right wing for 3, in and out. Boyle fighting, and it's picked up by Hastings. And here comes English to Carew, layup good.
Yeah, as they were able to break wide open there on that fast break. That was an easy 2 points as Kagan Bates was the only one down there to guard that.
2 minutes first quarter, Pitt by 6, 19-13 the score. Mason English has 10. Slip screen, Baker leans, shoots, that's gotta be a foul, and it is, as Baker was trying to get up, and Hembry kind of fell on him. Hudson's okay and is getting ready to shoot his 5th and 6th free throws of the game. He made his first 2 free throws and then missed the 2 after that. And he misses this one. Griff Eaton checks in for Kagan Bates. Yes. Hudson's second is good. We'll take anything we can get against this Pittsburgh team. Just a 5-point game, minute 45 first quarter. Possession at a time starts on the defensive end.
Yes, and Labette County's just going to have to limit that as Mason English has just continued to be hot here.
A no-look pass to the corner, a 3 ball is missed by Hastings. It's rebounded by Pitt, and then off of Labette off the strip of Hembry. It'll stay with the team in purple. Meanwhile, Labette County in their home whites, red numbers. Into the game for Pittsburgh, TJ Wesley, a 6'3 sophomore. He checks in for Chase Hembry.
Yeah, and that's another thing. Pittsburgh's just getting too many second chance looks or second chance opportunities right now, as Labette County has not been boxing out or rebounding as well as I know they can.
Set play for English. 1-arm pass, Hastings another 3, in and out. Rebound Boyle. Labette with an opportunity, only down 5. As Pittsburgh, when they walk into the gym, it makes you feel like you're down 5-0 already, so things are ballooned when you play Pittsburgh. As Boyle misses the right-hand layup, had a nice move, though, to get a decent look. As English throws a dime to Carew. He's deep. English, a deep 3, misses off the right side. Rebound Hudson Baker. 50 seconds, still 19-14 Pittsburgh. Eaton working, and a foul is going to be whistled on TJ Wesley. Griff Eaton to inbound. He'll get it to Phillips. Defended by English. Here's Vincent off the handoff, defended by Carew. 2 similar players in style and speed. Seep to the corner. Phillips, 1-arm pass. That's a tough angle as Phillips nearly got the steal as Turnbull stole it away. English tried to throw a no-look to Carew, but Trey Vincent was there. Long pass, Phillips, 1-on-1, up, under, misses the layup, and a late whistle is called on Pittsburgh. Got to be on English.
Yeah, as they're going to get a blocking foul on English. That'll be his first personal foul, 7th team foul for the Dragons. And that'll send Phillips to the line.
If he makes both, it'll be a 3-point game. Makes the first. Pittsburgh's yet to shoot a free throw. And this is Labette County's 10th coming up right here. He hits it. 19-16 Pittsburgh.
as I'm proud of how these guys are so far sticking with it, as that's what they've got to do. They can't let these guys get too far out of reach, and they got to contain and just take every possession one at a time.
English, 4 seconds. He's going to take the shot. 2 seconds. Leans, shoots, misses, and that'll do it for the end of the first quarter. Mason English has 10 of Pittsburgh's 19, but Labette, playing well as a team, has 16. Not shabby from our Grizzlies, hanging right where they need to be against these Purple Dragons. That's the end of one from Harrison. We'll be back in 60 seconds with the second quarter of Grizzly basketball.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
(16-19) the score. Pittsburgh in front. Second quarter just about to be underway, and now it is. Trey Vincent controlling the rock. In the second quarter, Labette has played well. They've had to go through a couple deep Mason English threes, but who hasn't this year? Eaton, top of the key, defended by a new Purple Dragon, Jaden Brown. He's a 6-foot-tall freshman. Solace in the game with Carew, Turnbull, and English. On the floor for Labette is Eaton, Baker, Vinson, Boyle, and Phillips. Baker calling for it. Vinson at the foot of the LC Grizzly paw, mid-floor. Baker comes to set a screen, and a foul on Carew off the defending of the Baker screen.
As that'll be Carew's second personal foul, 8th team foul for the Pittsburgh Dragons. So Trey Vincent will go to the line and shoot a 1-and-1. As Carew's going to check out, and Dan Hastings will check in for him.
Big opportunity for Labette at the stripe as Trey's first is good. He's 2 for 3 from the line. Labette just with 2 team fouls. I mean, that is vital. That's huge in my opinion. As both those team fouls, as Trey makes the second, are on Joe Page, who hasn't been in the game in some time.
Yeah, that's true.
With those 2 personal fouls.
Yeah, and there's a lot of time left here in the second quarter, so getting Labette to the free throw line could prove very beneficial.
Turnbull deep with good position. Kicks it out, though, a 3 from Hastings. In and out, rebound Boyle. Labette down 1, 7 minutes, second quarter. Long pass Baker. He catches it. Kicks it out, Boyle in the corner. Deep post Baker. Defended by Solace. Boyle backdoors. Baker leans, shoots, misses, gets his own. Up, under, and Labette has the lead.
As Hudson has just outperformed himself already in his performance versus this Pittsburgh team the first time around, as he has greatly impressed me with his physicality.
English with it. Been defended well in the first 90 seconds of quarter number 2. He's working on Griff. He'll get by. Awkward shot off the mark. Bit of a force from English. Rebound Baker. Labette out in front. Vinson tries to flip one to Phillips. Well read by English. Pokes it out. Stays with LC.
Yeah, as he defended that really well, as that could have been an easy bucket for Xavier Phillips.
They get it in. Eaton, deep corner, defended by the freshman. It's Brown. A paint touch and a travel on Griff Eaton.
It's just little turnovers like that. Just keep shooting yourself in the foot.
Six minutes, second quarter. Brown will adjust and fire and miss. Rebound Baker. Pittsburgh getting more of those one-and-dones on the offensive end. Labette rebounding better.
Yes, they have definitely picked it up. I was just getting ready to say that, is they must have heard me talking up here about them, because I'm very impressed with how well they've kept Pittsburgh off the boards.
Hudson on Salas, backing him down, spinning, finds Phillips, backside, gets his man to bite, and scores over Turnbull, and Labette lead is up to 3. .5:30 second quarter, English swerving, shooting, missing, Baker ripping it down. Oh, he had it stripped, and they're going to say it's off of Hudson. Stays with Pittsburgh. English gets it right back after he threw it into Turnbull. Adjusting, a skip pass, Brown for 3, no good. Man, they're shooting more threes than I remember. Did they shoot that many in Pitt?
Well, I felt like they got so many steals and like downhill kind of aggressive offensive transition points that I don't remember them shooting as many 3 balls, but I could be mistaken on that. But I think I agree with you.
Griffin Eaton has it at the volleyball stripe near half court. 5 minutes and counting. Labette up 3. Vincent cut off short corner. Somehow finds Eaton. A high floater is no good, and Brown has it for Pittsburgh.
Because I thought that pass was going to be cut off pretty quickly by somebody in purple, but somehow that made it to Eaton for the shot attempt at least.
Right side, ball's flipped. It's the senior. Hastings, one bounce pass, Salas, top of the key, his pass poked. Xavier out in front, 2 trailing behind. Layup is converted by Xavier, and Labette leads by 5. The energy level has definitely picked up and resulted in positive play from Labette as Matthew Boyle ran in and stripped it.
They're going to get him called on a foul there, though, however.
Man, that looked clean.
As I think there was some, Turnbull grabbed his face, side of his face afterwards, so there may have been more contact than we could see from up here.
First on Matthew, third as a team on Labette. Still Joe Page on the bench with 2 fouls, has been since late first quarter. Set play, English, corner 3, and off the mark, missed it, left rim. Rebound, Phillips. Labette with some momentum. They might force Coach Woods to burn one here. 4 minutes and counting, first half. Eaton off the screen, top of the key, given space, he'll reverse it. Vincent right wing. Boyle flashes, dump down, Baker, great position. He'll shoot over the freshman and score over the freshman. And Labette leads 26-19, and Coach Woods just throws that left palm towards the sky and rolls his eyes.
As Vincent was so patient to get that pass to Baker. As Turnbull is going to get a nice wide open pass and put it in for 2. So Labette County just up 5 now as they bring it back the other way.
Hudson could have jumped to try to block that. Probably smart just to stay down over Turnbull and not risk a personal foul or an and one.
Yeah, you don't want to burn personal fouls just yet. Nobody's really in foul trouble except for Joe at this point, and you kind of want to keep it that way.
Griff Eaton just burning time, dribbling in a now quiet Harrison Gymnasium. Now the freshman comes out to Garden. Kind of a 2-1-2 defense for Pittsburgh, at least just with how Labette County's positioned. I think it's actually a man-to-man. Eaton in the corner, Baker's wide open, shaking his hand out of aggression as just how open he is on Turnbull. Now Turnbull adjusts his defensive position. 2:20 second quarter, Labette's had it for a while.
Yeah, they are. I'm not sure Coach Argerbart's strategy here, but I mean, hey, if you're up, wait for a good look and just see how long you can burn clock.
Vincent will drive now. What a dish! Baker throws it down! Baker's man, slam me a dunk as fast as you can. What a find, Trey Vincent. And Mason English shushes the crowd as he buries a deep 3.
As you know, he has to respond as good of a shooter as he is. He had been cold for too long, so good response there from number 30.
Just like that, Labette up 4 and English picks it away. He'll lay it in, wanted to dunk it but had to settle for the layup. And just like that, The Dragons only down 2. .90 seconds to go in the half. Vinson driving behind the back snatch. Euro step off the glass, a miss. Baker there for the cleanup crew. Misses the lay-in. Here comes English. Defended by Griff. Gets by him. Boyle, the last hope. Up under. Oh, that's so pretty. And he ties it. Baker all the way the other end, responding with another dunk. The chef is cooking. English for the lead. No. Rebound Trey. 60 seconds and counting. Vincent left hand layup. Good. Pittsburgh not getting back on defense, and Baker abusing the rim.
As Coach Argerbright waves his team on just to keep going, keep picking it up on D, as you're not done with this quarter yet, as that's going to be a foul and one, as Mason English took it to the rim. And that'll be a second foul on Matthew Boyle, second personal foul, 4th team foul.
Back-to-back dunks by Hudson Baker. He's got 11. English misses the free throw. He knew it was off, but couldn't get the rebound. So Labette still leads by 2. After English tied it, Labette responded with a quick 4-0 run. 20 seconds now. Just don't let Pitt get a shot. Here's a long pass. Boyle wide open. Layup's good. As I'll let him take a shot if it means we score, as Boyle was wide open.
Yeah, you had to go for that shot as Pitt tried to gamble.
Here comes probably the biggest play of the half. Labette up 4. English harassed. 3 seconds. He's not going to be the one to take it. A corner 3. Hastings. No good. That is a great way to finish the first half by Labette County. 34-30. Grizzlies in front. Second quarter buzzer booms through Harrison. We'll be back in 3 minutes with our eye care associates of Parsons, Doctors Gilmore, Newland, and Ray. Halftime show on KLKC. Hold on, I'm sorry. I forgot that Coach Vollmer's coming up with us. Let's just take 60 seconds. My apologies, Amanda. And we'll be back in 1 minute with Coach Vollmer on KLKC. As we welcome you into the Eye Care Associates of Parsons halftime show of Grizzly basketball, as we are now joined by head coach of the victorious Lady Grizzlies earlier this evening, Brianna Vollmer. And after we're done with Coach, we're going to talk to the 3 seniors of Labette County's squad, Audrey Dewey, Shelby Wilson, and Ridley Lynn Cherney. Isabel will take care of those discussions, but for now, Coach, you win it 45-24. Slow start, low scoring going into the locker room. But that fourth quarter was pretty. The energy level really picked up.
Absolutely. I think, we knew that Pittsburgh had been in some low-scoring games.
Yeah.
And I think that was their strategy coming in, just limit our offensive opportunities. And, if they run a minute to a minute 30 seconds off the clock playing offense and us playing defense, that tires us out. And they executed that. Coach Wilson had a great idea, and we threw a little half-court trap on them, and they just really didn't handle it very well. If we got the ball out of Jacqueline Hall's hands, then we knew life was going to be really good. We limited her to, 6 points, 1 field goal. That is doing some major work playing defense, because she's an amazing basketball player. So hats off to my kids. They played hard. They picked up the intensity, and we got to win.
As back-to-back wins, that's got to feel good. First time we've gotten that taste in our mouths for about a month and a half, but tough schedule, tough league. So and the comeback against Atchison to create that 2 straight wins. So talk about what that means for this group. How's the locker room feeling right now?
I think it's amazing right now. You know, we're going to take that positive energy. We knew we had an opportunity to come win some big games going into Sub-State and use this momentum, and we're jumping right on that. I think the energy is amazing. You know, we're facilitating, we're passing a little bit better, and that's always something what we're going to promote. And so it's just exciting time to be a Grizzly, and we're going to use that momentum going into Friday night as well.
Coach, we want to leave just a little time for these seniors, but I know I asked you earlier, I know a couple people are wanting to know, when is the Sub-State bracket coming out this weekend? Is that
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
Was looking at the moment, if we were to end today, we would be at Baldwin.
Okay.
We would travel to Baldwin, and then we'd be in the Fort Scott Sub-State. So
Gotcha.
It's looking like that's what's going to happen, unless some things jump around. I know Atchison was going to play a team that they had already beaten. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Gotcha. Still a night to play tonight and Friday, I guess. But, Coach, thank you for coming up. Great
Awesome.
win.
Thank you.
Way to keep trending upwards. So.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, coaches. I'm going to hand, or let's see who it's going to be first. I think we're going to get Shelby Wilson first, as Isabel will talk to our 3 seniors of the Lady Grizzly basketball squad.
There we go. As Shelby, thank you for joining us. As I'm going to just adjust your mic here a little bit so everybody can hear you. As you can take a seat there.
Okay.
As Shelby, we're just going to kind of talk about, great win tonight. Congratulations on that. It was a lot of fun to watch you guys play, and it's been a lot of fun to watch it throughout your career and the season. And so just talk to me a little bit about, what it's been like to be a Lady Grizzly and just the whole, what's just that whole experience like for you?
It's really fun, especially when our student section gets going.
Yeah.
It's a really great environment. Just being around. I've been to some colleges and they don't even get as hype. It just is so loud in here. And I love it. It's so fun coming to practice every day with the girls. They bring my mood up.
That's awesome. And Shelby, you've been somebody that it's been fun to watch you just grow as a basketball player. You're very talented in a lot of different things you do. You do a lot of things with the theater, and you're very talented in acting and just in all of your other facets that you're involved in with Labette County High School. So just talk to me what your high school experience has been like. What's it been like to be, a student here at Labette County? What does it mean to you, you're a senior? What does it mean to you to kind of look back over your school years and your high school years of being a part of this community?
It's been really fun. I'm like you said, I'm really involved. So it's easy to get to know and see a lot of different kinds of people. And I think that has made me more well-rounded and just a better person overall. And I love coming from practice to going to theater. It's just they're different people, but they're all great to be around. I don't know, it's really fun.
That's awesome.
I love it.
And yeah, it's like I said, it's so cool to be able to kind of see all you guys just form that community and that group, and kind of reflecting on basketball season and different things. Just tell me maybe what your favorite moment has been. Maybe it was something funny that happened in practice or in the locker room. Just what would be the memory you'd look back on and go, yeah, that was a fun time?
I will remember going in the locker room after we won. I think it was Sub-State, and the coaches grittied. I think that was in the locker room. I think my mom might have done it right there.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Shelby, thank you so much for taking the time to chat with us. Like I said, it's been fun to watch you. We talk a lot about you every night, but you don't necessarily get to come up here and talk with us. But thank you so much for your time, and good luck on the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Just continue to, make Labette County proud.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. As we're next going to have Ridley Lynn joining us, as she has been such a beast in the post presence for us this year. Ridley, we mention your name constantly, as we always are impressed with the different moves and stuff. And neither me or Jack played the post when we played basketball, so we always think it's impressive whenever anybody can just physically, get up and under and do all those things. And so you're definitely one of those players for us in our mind. And you're just you're good person just to be around. You're always smiling. I just love getting to talk to you whenever I do. So just kind of walk me through, what's it been like to, play for this Grizzly team? What's it been like just to, be a basketball player for Labette County?
Well, Labette County is we've kind of always had the reputation for basketball, and so it was kind of nerve-wracking because last year I did get some varsity time, but it was kind of like I was like lower down on like the totem pole, and I knew at the beginning of the season me and Vollmer had talked about like my role as a player, and I was like, I knew I'm not going to be the biggest girl out there, and there's going to be girls that are a lot bigger than me.
Yeah.
And we talked about like my role is if I can get rebounds and putbacks, like that will be huge, and that was my kind of goal this whole season. And I feel like as the season's gone on, I've like continued to work to get those rebounds, and I've just gained the confidence with Vollmer and her constantly being like make the move, take the shot. It's like if you miss, it's okay. You might get fouled, and then you're shooting. So she's very like take the shot, like very building my confidence to make the play. And I feel like I've used that this season to come out of my shell and not like, yes, I need to rebound, but like I can also score points. So
yeah, and you definitely, I was going to say, everything that you just mentioned, I've watched you grow over the season, and it's been so cool to watch you. And Jack will always have to turn his mic down or something whenever you make a big up and under move or you're very aggressive. And that is something we've talked a lot about, is you're not necessarily always the biggest, post player on the floor, but you definitely make your presence felt. So we've enjoyed watching you this season and just enjoyed watching your progress as well. And maybe talk to me now a little bit about, you're a senior. I asked Shelby this too. I mean, you're involved in a lot of things, on and off the basketball floor, and you're very connected to this community and here at Labette County. And just talk to me what your experience in high school has been like and what you have taken away most from being a student here at Labette County.
Well, I mean, I feel like a lot of kids here are like student athletes, and you kind of have, I mean, just like our team, you kind of have the reputation of like being a student athlete is like I mean, sometimes it can be stressful, like tournament weeks, especially when we go like 2 hours away, and it's like, okay, we're leaving at noon. I'm missing college classes, so it's like definitely a little bit of pressure to keep grades and as well as being an athlete. But the coaches and teachers are all both very understanding and are helpful for if you need help or if you maybe need an extension or something. They're very understanding and helpful with that. So
yeah, that's awesome. And last question for you, Ridley, is what would be, if you could go back and over your 4 years that you've played here, what would kind of be maybe your favorite memory or favorite thing that happened in a game or in the locker room?
Well, probably my favorite is last year. Actually, it was for the sub-state championship. We were playing Ottawa, and it was like the end of the second quarter, and I got a rebound and then made like a buzzer beater shot, right, like a bank shot, and then another, like the next play, right, when we got back out of the quarter, Anna like chucked a ball at me, and I don't know how, but I caught it and I threw it up and I landed on my knees. And I remember being so embarrassed because I just like, she hit me and I just hit my knees, and I was like, I just jumped up and I looked over and Vollmer was like yelling, and Snyder just kind of gave me a look, and I was like, I don't know.
Well, Ridley, thank you so much for joining us, and it's, like I said, it's been fun to watch you, and congratulations on your career here at Labette County, and best of luck in the rest of your future.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing that, Isabel, as third quarter play is underway. Mason English. Oh, you didn't do Audrey? Oh, okay.
I just didn't know what you wanted to do.
We'll have to wait till the next commercial break. Sorry, Audrey, I didn't realize. I went to the restroom and didn't know who all she had gotten through. But Mason English got an and one play right out of the gate. Here's Trey Vincent answering with a two-point right-hand floater of his own to put Labette back up 3. Turnbull, meanwhile, being fouled on the other end by Hudson, as that's already 2 team fouls on Labette this half. As that's the first on Hudson, thankfully, but Turnbull's going to go to the line to shoot 2. Turnbull makes the first free throw. .7:14, third quarter, 36-34, Labette County. Turnbull hits it, 36-35 now. Mason English has 22 of Pittsburgh's 35 points. Backdoor pass from Hudson to Phillips. Pawed out of bounds by Pitt. It'll stay with Labette County.
As Pittsburgh's done a really good job tonight reading the passing lanes and making that a difficult thing for Labette County.
English tips an inbounds pass and steals it right away. I didn't see exactly what the call was right there.
I think they were saying he stepped out of bounds. But I'm not sure I agree with that. But I can't. I couldn't see, so I don't know.
Okay. So it stays with Labette, and then a foul is called quickly on Pittsburgh's Joey Cronister. His second personal and Pittsburgh's first crime committed this half. Just 60 seconds in. Vincent catches it. Picked up by Cronister. Right hand switches to the left hand. Stutters left, goes right, kicks it out. Eaton, right wing. He'll shoot a fader from 15 and hit it. Griffin Eaton loves those off-balance shots.
Yeah, and he is just so good at those as well, and you just never know when he's going to throw one up.
Pittsburgh back with it. English deep side. On the right, up, under, off the glass, misses it. Rebound tipped out. Xavier out and running. Pass to Vincent behind him, and it's going to go out of bounds. I'm not so sure Xavier needed to throw that.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you on that, but I think he just wanted to kind of keep pushing tempo, but kind of cut Vincent with his hand kind of behind him rather than leading him to the pass.
English walks it up, met by the senior point guard, Griffin Eaton. Zach Renfro, a senior, got the start tonight for Labette County. Haven't seen him since. English with a skip pass, a corner three-pointer. Cronister off the mark, rebounded by Pittsburgh's Hastings. He's got it. He'll penetrate just a little bit. Short corner on the right. Back to English, given room, deep three. No good, rebound Turnbull. Gives it right back to Mason. Hastings has got it right to Turnbull into the heart of Baker. Left hand hook is good. That's a pretty basketball shot by Turnbull.
Yes, he is not afraid. Baker maybe a few inches taller than Turnbull, but still not afraid to take it right at him.
Here's Phillips off of a screen. Three-pointer isn't open. He'll drive 1 foot in the paint, 1 foot out of it. Free throw line. Now in the corner, Vincent, right side in front of the student section, packed to the rim. 5 minutes, third quarter, Labette by a point. He'll drive, a nice find. Boyle wants a three. He'll miss it. Baker goes over, Salas to get it. Short corner, Boyle, he'll score on the right block. That's a beautiful feed by Hudson Baker.
As Hudson did a good job there kind of tipping it out to get the rebound and finding Boyle there for the easy bucket as as English is going to get a backcourt call and Pittsburgh's going to turn it over.
As credit Griffin Eaton for that call.
Yeah.
He poked it out of English's hands. English tipped it and then recovered by the time it was too late. Labette County back with the basketball, up three. Boyle drives, skip pass corner. Eaton wants a three. He'll miss it well short. Here's English on the outlet pass. Beautiful bounce pass is a little bit too low for Hastings.
As if he had been able to get there, that would have been a nice layup there for the Pittsburgh Dragons, but just a little too strong there from English.
.420 third quarter, Labette by three. Back with the ball, Trey Vinson, the point guard, crosses half court now. Right foot, now left foot, walking it up. Slip, or a pick and roll. Boyle, right side, Vinson. Baker awaits him to use the screen, now he does. Labette not really playing with the true post on this set. All 5 players outside of the paint right now. Here's Boyle, he'll drive, has it blocked by Salas, and Labette will inbound underneath their own rim.
As it looks like Joe Page is going to check back in for Matthew.
As I don't think we've seen Joe since late first quarter. Here's Baker, he'll drive, he'll shoot, he'll miss. as he kind of wants a foul. He was hacked pretty good there. At the other end, Carew misses a layup. Salas misses the follow, and here comes Xavier Phillips with numbers. Hudson, the pass is tipped by English out of bounds. As man, he's just a nuisance everywhere.
As you're right, he's just an all-around athlete.
Nice inbounds play as Vinson lays it in on the back block, as Labette had to inbound it near the corner in front of Labette's cheerleaders. That was an awkward angle for Phillips to find Vinson.
Yeah, I was just realizing that he was in an awkward position to pass it straight to him, so good look there.
English open for three, and he'll drain it.
As we've seen tonight, he really has unlimited range, so you can't keep him open at all.
42-40, 3 minutes and counting. Eaton, hook pass to Baker. Wasn't tipped. I thought it was for a moment. It just tumbled out. Kagan Bates checks in for Griffin Eaton. So here's Pittsburgh. They can tie or take the lead on this possession. Mason English the point. 2:45 in the third quarter. Kagan Bates on him. He'll move to the right. Kagan working hard. Bounce pass. Turnbull blocked by Baker, but a foul is called on Hudson. And Turnbull is going to head to the line to try to tie this thing at 42. That's the third as a team on Labette this quarter, and the second on Hudson. Turnbull bricks the first free throw. He has 4 points this quarter. Him and English combined for all of their points in this quarter, which is 10. Turnbull's second is good. 2:37 third quarter. Labette by a point, Isabel. The margin just keeps slimming.
Yeah, as it is just, I mean, you know, Pittsburgh's not going to go away, but Labette County's going to have to give it their all here.
As Bates traveled before he dished the pass out to Phillips, and a few negative body language symbols coming from our Grizzlies.
As this isn't the time to get out of the game mentally, as both Baker and Phillips continue to clap their teammates on and say, let's go.
Bates all over Mason English, nearing the 2-minute mark in the third. He gambles. English will drive. English will shoot. And English will score. That's a Mason English roll right there.
Yeah.
That hit the rim 15 times. Vincent drives. Uncontested layup. Good. And right after Pittsburgh took their first lead in some time, Trey Vincent snatches it right back. Carew quickly the other way. English left wing three. Good.
As that's his money spot. He likes that kind of elbow but back quite a distance outside the three-point arc shot, as he likes those deep three balls.
2-point Pittsburgh lead, minute 30, third quarter. Labette back with it. Vincent layup, good. Trey Vincent playing loose and having fun. A pretty layup from Trey. We're tied. He's got 15. Here's a beautiful pass. Salas misses the layup, and it's off of Baker, lands out of bounds. As English had probably one of his better passes of the game. As Salas missed the bunny, he'll have a seat. He is replaced by Chronister. As I don't think we've had a stoppage of play this quarter, because we were going to interview Audrey Dewey, as Turnbull's wide open and lays it in.
As that was just a poor defensive effort there by Labette County, as I'm not sure what was going on there, but somebody missed their assignment.
60 seconds and counting. Pittsburgh 48, Labette 46. Vincent spins into the heels of Carew, gets by him. Shot off the glass is missed, but Phillips tried to lay it in and didn't use the glass. Pittsburgh scores as the initial layup was missed, but English was there. And that's a 4-point swing right there. Four-point game, 30 seconds, third quarter. Pittsburgh's won the third by 8 points. Bates off the handoff. It's a set play for Page. Right wing, quick trigger. Trey, it's bottoms for Joe Page.
as that was a clean 3, and that was, you're exactly right, a play drawn up just for him, as that was a big-time shot.
Huge play, got to get a stop. We've done a nice job at the end of the buzzers. Left wing 3, no good. Buzzer sounds, and Labette is within 1 of Pittsburgh, as we'll keep it here as we're going to get the third and final senior of the Lady Grizzlies, Audrey Dewey. Isabel will talk to her.
As Audrey, thanks for joining us. Sorry about that.
That's okay.
We didn't really get a stoppage of play or anything, so we couldn't bring you in. But, you know, it's first off, congratulations on the win tonight. It's been a lot of fun to watch you guys this season and watch you in particularly as, you know, it's always fun to watch the seniors and watch how you guys grow into that role of leadership. And so just kind of talk to me, you know, how's it been this year? How's it been, you know, being a Lady Grizzly and getting to play for Coach Vollmer and for the squad?
Yeah, it's been really fun. I love getting to watch the younger kids like rise up to the occasion and just watching everybody grow and grow together and learn how to play together with the new offenses and all the new things that have been thrown towards us.
Yeah, that's awesome. And just kind of talk to me, you know, how you've personally grown this season. I've seen you, me and Jack talk a lot about just, you know, off the air, you know, how each of you guys are doing and different things and how we've watched you grow. And one area we've really talked about is just your aggressiveness on the floor. We really feel like you are just somebody that you'll sacrifice your body to go get a board or go get a steal or a jump ball or whatever. And so just talk to us about how you feel like you've grown personally this season and over your career here.
I mean, I think I've become more confident from 8th grade to senior year at Labette County. Defense is something I pride myself in, and so being aggressive on defense is something that is important to me, and I know that that's how I can do my part on the team, because I know I don't score much, but I don't know, I think I've grown a lot in defense.
Yes, I definitely agree with that as well. As we always say, you know, we love to look at the box score. We love to see who's scoring the most, but it's more than that though. It's about, you know, who's put in those efforts and different things. So you definitely have been that kind of a contributor for this Labette County offense. As, you know, just kind of a last question here for you is, you know, what would necessarily be kind of a favorite memory you've had? It could be this year or any of the 4 years prior, of just whether it's basketball or something you've experienced at school, of, you know, maybe a memory that you're going to take with you for the future is just something that's been a good thing for you here at Labette County.
I think it's how the coaches are always there for you no matter what you're going through, family stuff, relationship stuff, friend stuff. They are always there for you to give you advice and to pick you up whenever you're down. And so I think that's really a lasting memory that I will keep from Labette County sports.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Well, thank you so much, Audrey. Again, sorry about kind of the mix-up on the interviews and everything, but
it's okay.
Like I said, it's been a lot of fun to watch you this season. We wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors and everything, and we've appreciated you playing basketball for Labette County for the past few years. So thank you so much, Audrey.
Thank you.
As we welcome you back to play of the game, as Pittsburgh, in the middle of that interview, took a 5-point lead. A bucket by English and a bucket by Chronister to give Pittsburgh a 54-49 lead. Trey Vincent missed a pair of free throws to take a 1-point lead, and Pittsburgh capitalized. Timeout, Coach Woods. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KLKC.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Xavier Phillips has himself a trip to the free throw line. During the timeout, he had a little drive and got fouled on a floater. That's the only play we missed during the timeout, as he hasn't even shot his first free throw yet. And he hits the first. Second free throw for Xavier is no good. 4-point game, Pittsburgh up by 4. Labette led by 4 at the half. 6:40, fourth quarter. English controlling. He'll dribble, lower his shoulder, try to go left, and have to pull it back. He'll try to step back, forced a kick. Skip pass. In the corner right below us is Chronister. English gets it again. He'll drive, has it stripped. At some point, you can't call that.
Yes, I agree.
Like, if you call it at 1 out of 10 times has to be a clean steal. It has to be.
Yes.
So you got to let one of them go.
Yeah.
English's first free throw's good.
Because that'll be Phillips' first personal foul.
Pittsburgh, English at the line, misses the second, so the lead stays at 5 for Pittsburgh. And Labette's got the ball back in the hands of Trey Vinson. Left wing Eaton. Labette needs to hang around. They can be down come the final few minutes, but not by probably more than 6 or 7. They've got to savor every offensive possession.
Yes, I agree. I was just getting ready to say that. This is valuable time right here.
.5:45 to go, a longer possession for Labette. Vincent driving, Page in the corner. Head fake, here's Vincent. Shoots, fading away, and it's no good. Rebound Turnbull. Pittsburgh with numbers, English with it, and it's rejected out of bounds. Chronister on the shot attempt, and Phillips got it out of there.
As that was just a nice clean block there by Phillips, as he knew exactly what he was doing.
English drives just a little bit. One pass kick, three-pointer is no good from Hastings. And a foul on the floor on Labette County.
As that's going to be on Joe. That'll be his third personal foul.
English to inbound. It's thrown in. Hastings, English, big three, in and out. That's a big miss, but a rebound by Brown. Three-pointer, Turnbull's good. That is a play we're going to talk about in the Bowen Pharmacy postgame show.
Yes, it is.
That is a play we're going to talk about. That, oh my gosh, that is huge. Eaton trying to drive and traveled. That was the play of the game.
Yeah, as that Labette County could not have afforded to give up the offensive board, and they did.
Argerbright wants 60 seconds. We'll keep it here and thank Labette Health for making tonight's broadcast of Grizzly basketball possible. Invite you to stay tuned for that Bowen Pharmacy post-game show, and a few other sponsors we would like to thank are
Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clements Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Herman Lumber, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Labette Bank, the Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Community National Bank, Tank Connection, Wood Insurance Center, the Unified School District of USD 506, the Corner Store of Altamont, Day and Zimmerman, and SEK Orthopedic.
58-50, Pittsburgh in front of Labette County with 4:57 to play. It'll be Labette ball out of the timeout. Isabel, what can you do to get back in it?
You know, it's one thing, the biggest part of this is mentality. You can't accept defeat here. You've got 5 minutes left essentially. That's plenty of time. You have to play the hardest you can on defense for the next 5 minutes or so and just continue to take it at them, you just have to get over the mentality of like, oh, we're down 8, because that's not that much of a swing if you just keep at it and keep building on it. And you can't let the gap widen. You can't give up easy buckets necessarily on the other end, but you've got to play tough here.
I'm sorry, when I mentioned it would be Labette County ball, it slipped my mind that Eaton traveled before the timeout. And here's a long pass off the fingertips of Xavier. Coach Argerbright in the ear of the official saying it was tipped by Pittsburgh, and he's not going to win the argument. No coach ever has in the history of arguments. Bounce pass, backside Turnbull's blocked by Baker, and that's probably a jump ball. It is. So that's probably the best case scenario for Labette County. It will stay with Pittsburgh, however. English slaps the ball, and it is in play. Chronister, English, right wing. It's been Eaton and Bates when Kagan's been in the game upon Mason English, who's had another Mason English type night. He'll switch left to right. He'll drive up under, kind of a Harlem shot there. He misses it, rebound Xavier. Joe Page posting up beyond the arc. Phillips will drive, hook past Baker, up in the air. He'll shoot and score. A positive series there for the Grizzlies.
As there you go. There's your first 2 points. Now you want to come down here and get a stop and go do it again.
Hudson's first points of the second half. He had 11 in the first. Wide open, right wing, a three-pointer is off the mark from Turnbull.
They got lucky on that one as he was wide open.
Here's Eaton in some traffic, backing his way into the far corner. Joe Page is open on a skip pass if he wants it. Left wing, he'll fire, and he'll miss short. Baker tips it. Phillips retrieves it. This could be huge. Here's a back door through the hands of Page. Turnover, LC.
Yeah, you don't want that, as that was still a decent look. But just not, or wait, looks like it is going to stay with Labette County.
What?
I'm sorry, I misread that.
I thought it went kind of through Joe's palms.
Me too.
As Matthew Boyle's in for Page, and Labette will stay with it, so still a great opportunity here. 3:30, Pittsburgh by 6. Boyle left wing, Baker posting, Baker catching over Brown. He was going to pass to Eaton, but it was blocked by Brown out of bounds.
So they'll have another chance to inbound it here.
Baker having a word with Matthew on where he would like that post-entry pass located in the future. Stack formation, Phillips the inbounder. They throw it in, it's tipped and stolen. You can't hold the ball where you're going to throw it.
No, yeah, and Mason English was the on the ball guard there, and he read that perfectly.
Pittsburgh just makes those plays.
Yes.
That's why they're Pittsburgh.
Yes, exactly.
And they always have a Mason English, it seems like. As I believe we still get one more year of this guy. He's just a junior.
Yes.
One dribble underneath, a shot off the glass is no good by Chronister. Labette County's offensive leniency's dwindling down. Here's Boyle and an offensive foul. Ryan Carew stepped in and took a charge on Eaton after he dished the pass. And Argerbright bending over, hands on his knees. His tie is just dangling as he was just looking straight down at the court. 2 big turnovers for Labette. Can't do that.
Yeah, that's just unfortunate as Pittsburgh's going to waste time just kind of walking it up here.
As English is going to maintain as Baker creeps out to try to defend English, and now you're going to send him to the line for 1-and-1 as Baker fouled him. Not intentionally, but he did foul him.
And that'll be Baker's 3rd personal foul. And 17th foul for the Grizzlies, so Mason English will shoot a 1-and-1.
English missed his last free throw. The front end here is good. As Labette was down 6 and had the ball twice and held Pittsburgh scoreless on both those defensive possessions leading up to that, and turned it over both times.
Yeah, and that's you can't have that. That's too costly.
He misses the second. Matthew with the rebound. Eaton in the corner, defended by Carew, who just took the charge on him last possession. A screen set by Baker. Vincent drives, lane opens up, and he gets it to go off the glass. And Coach Argerbright wants 60 seconds with his team. We'll be back in 1 minute. Labette hanging on in Harrison.
My name is Bria, and I'm a pharmacist at Bowen Pharmacy. I'm here today to tell you about one of our patient programs, Meds to Beds. Bowen Pharmacy South is located in the medical office building at Labette Health. Our staff works closely with the doctors, nurses, and social care workers to ensure that your transition out of the hospital is an easier and more convenient experience for you and your loved ones. If you are having inpatient or outpatient surgery, we will get your medications directly from your doctor and deliver them right to your hospital bed. If you are having a baby, we will get your medications or anything else that you may need to get your family home without the hassle of making several stops along the way. Whether you're here for a few hours or a few days, we are here at Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South to help get you well without any interruption in transition of care. Just ask for Meds to Beds. At Bowen Pharmacy and Bowen Pharmacy South, we are here for you today and we are here for you tomorrow.
Mason English has 36 points here this evening, just a couple buckets from a 40-point showing, as Mason English had 19 in the first half and has 17 here in this one, and here he catches the ball in the full court situation. Up ahead as Baker gets in a passing lane, doesn't quite get the steal though, he tipped it, the ball died but into the arms of Carew. Big opportunity for Labette, slipped through their fingertips quite literally. Once again, English is double teamed. Pittsburgh just burning some time. Hastings, now Turnbull free throw line. Carew in the corner, head fake, drive, loses it as it's going to be picked up by Brown, and then a block is called, and Brown's going to shoot 2 free throws as Phillips had a great opportunity there.
Yeah, as the ref definitely had a better look on that than I did, but I definitely was anticipating the block on that.
Brown's first free throw is good. His first point of the game. Minute 45, Labette down 6. Brown looking to make it 7. And does. He's a really good player.
Yes, he is.
Labette can't have an empty possession from here on out. Nearing the 90-second mark to go, down 7, and another turnover, and English is going to come the other way and lay it in while he hits the deck very, very hard.
Yes, I think that should have been an and one there, as Brown's going to get another pass interception.
And English is going to score 40 points as he kind of dunks it, creeped it over the rim, and pulled down on it as it went in, as Coach Woods wants 30 seconds. And Pittsburgh is doing Pittsburgh things here in Altamont. Up 11, minute 14. Mason English lights out. We'll be back in 30 seconds on KLKC.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
Labette County trails by 11 with a minute 14 left. It's just a couple minutes ago, this was a 55-50 game. And you can do the math. Labette County has gone on a cold streak as they've been outscored by Pittsburgh 10-4 over the course of that time, as we have a foul here in a half-court situation. I think that's on Pittsburgh. That's 5 on Ryan Carew. Stays with Labette. That's just the 5th team foul on Pittsburgh this half, as 4 Grizzlies are lined up right on the free throw line, all of them.
I have a feeling this may be an elevator screen to Joe Page.
That's what I'm guessing, and Brown is in a good position to defend it if he's aware of what it may be, and I think he is.
I think, yeah.
As they're going to go backside block, Baker right block. He'll turn around, he'll fade and be fouled, and Hudson's going to shoot 2 free throws here.
As that was good adjustment there by the Grizzlies, as they saw that play was kind of getting busted.
They've really locked down on Hudson in the second half. He just has 2 points. Looking for 3 and 4 right here as he makes the first free throw.
Yes, that definitely I could say would be a big difference from the first and second half because he played big minutes and had some big plays for us in the first.
His second free throw is no good. Rebound Turnbull. And Mason English has the ball. Pitt's up 10, 50 seconds left. I have a feeling a lot of announcers have said that throughout Mason English's career.
Yeah.
As Trey's going to foul Mason and send him to the line for a 1-and-1. That's the 9th team on the bet of the second half. That's the first on Trey. As active of a defender as he is, kind of hard to believe that he just has 1 foul. English's front end of the 1-and-1 is no good, trickled off the front of the rim. He's been a little bit more poor from the free throw line than he generally is, but boy, does he make up for that in many other ways. Here's Phillips, awkward pass and another turnover, as we've probably turned it over on 90% of our possessions in the final 2.5, 3 minutes of this game.
Yes, we definitely have, and that's been part of the reason Pittsburgh's been able to pull away so efficiently here towards the end.
Yeah.
As we've kind of given it to him in a way.
Trey Vinson fouls intentionally one more time. Last-ditch effort. Still a 10-point Pittsburgh lead, 27 seconds in the fourth quarter. Mason's first of 2, as it's the 10th team, is good. One more for Mason English. As Pittsburgh obviously outright SEK champs. As I misspoke earlier, they did lose to Riverton last night in Pittsburgh by 10. So a team that was hungry by 6, a team that was hungry to turn around and get a win. As Trey Vinson buries a three-pointer in the corner and Coach Argerbright calls a full timeout. We'll just take 30 seconds of it and come back for the final 20 seconds from Altamont on KLKC.
Day & Zimmerman, one of the largest privately owned companies in the U.S. with operations across the country and internationally. We are comprised of multiple brands that put people to work, protect our freedoms, and improve the world. The Parsons, Kansas location has manufactured munitions for over 50 years for our country's warfighters. Day & Zimmerman has immediate openings for production operators starting at $18.02 an hour on our weekend crew. Work a 12-hour day shift Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and receive 40 hours of pay. We also offer competitive benefits. Apply today.
(67-58) Pittsburgh leads it. Labette led at half by 4, which pretty much isn't a lead, but still put themselves in a position to be able to withstand a few more Pittsburgh punches, but still not enough as Pittsburgh's up by 9. Labette's going to infiltrate on a full court press. We'll see if we can get a steal here and a quick score. They get it into English as he's fouled by Hudson, and will shoot 2 more. As Pittsburgh lost to Riverton by how many points last night?
15, I believe.
75-60 or something like that. English's first of 2 is good. As Pittsburgh dominated the SEK this season, they'll move on. This is their last regular season game of the year for the Purple Dragons. They'll move on to 14-4 as Max Preps shows. Sometimes Max Preps is off, but we'll go with it tonight as Mason makes the second as well. 14-4 on the year. And as we take a look over, as Xavier Phillips makes a right wing 3 and Coach Argerbright calls a 30-second timeout. Good shot, though, by Xavier to get him to double figures. We'll keep it here, and we'll pull up the sub-state bracket here. Still 1 game to go. Nobody is ever too sure on how sub-state works. In terms of, like, no one hardly ever knows when the bracket's going to come out.
Yeah.
No one ever knows for sure who you're going to play. So you just kind of have to wait on the bracket to release before you know absolutely anything. But as of right now, in terms of the 4A standings in the sub-state, or the East sub-state, Labette County is down here sandwiched between Iola and Ottawa. We played Ottawa and Burlington, and they beat us. Ottawa going into tonight is 9-9. Altamont will fall to 8-11, and Iola coming into tonight, perhaps they are off, as they are already 8-11. Lewisburg and Fort Scott are all 7-11, so it'll be interesting to see how the sub-state bracket shapes up here, as English gets a long layup to go off a heave, and at the other end, Phillips will lay it in for his 12th point of the night. And the buzzer sounds and Labette loses it 63-71 as a good offensive performance, especially compared to how we've been doing and especially with how we did against Pittsburgh in our last go-around. But Labette still loses it and is yet to beat the Purple Dragons in now 8 years. 63-71 is the final. We're going to take a 3-minute break and come back with the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Grizzly basketball on KLKC. Pharmacy post-game show of Labette County Grizzly basketball. Labette falls once again to the Purple Dragons of Pittsburgh by a score of 63-71 on top of a season-high scoring from Mason English, a junior of Pittsburgh. 46 of Pittsburgh's 71 points scored by Mason English. Other scores for Pittsburgh, Turnbull had 17, and then Chronister, Carew, Brown, and Solis all had 2. Scores for Labette County, Trey Vincent had 20. Really nice night for Trey Vincent that kind of quietly made its way into the dark as the game bled out at the end, and you kind of forgot about how many points Trey truly had, but I'm assuming that's a season high for Trey. A really nice night from our senior point guard as well. Hudson Baker had 14. Xavier Phillips had a dozen. Joe Page had 8, 2 3-pointers. Matthew Boyle had 7, and Griff Eaton had 2. At the end of the first quarter, it was 16-19 Pittsburgh. Second quarter total was Labette 18, Pittsburgh 11. Labette led by 4 at the break. In the third quarter, it was advantage Pittsburgh 20-15, and in the fourth quarter, advantage Pittsburgh as well, 21-14. Isabel, not a horrible game by Labette County. You put up 63 points. You'd like to be able and think before the game, if you were told that you scored 63, you'd think, okay, maybe we held Pittsburgh to 60 and won it by 3 or something like that. But they have Mason English, and hard to keep them under 70 sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things, and we had mentioned this in the pregame, is like these guys, even when they have lost, they haven't scored under 45 points. So and that's hard to do, and especially with Mason English scoring a career high of 46 points. I mean, that's huge. And so hearing that, if you hear, oh, Mason's going to score his career high tonight, I mean, that alone, it's like, oh, man. But yeah. I will say, despite that, Labette County did a really good job. I feel like each of these guys should be proud of how they played, because it's tough to play this Pittsburgh team. I mean, it's kind of one of those things of we stayed with them for a long time. And you kind of mentioned this during the game, is we just had too many turnovers there at the end and mistakes that kind of handed them the game. And one of the other things that I noticed is, Mason is a competitor, and thus he brings his team to compete as well, because you can see them feed off of him. Like Turnbull will start to feed off him. Hastings was feeding off him a little bit. All these guys kind of look to him, and so when he would make those threes or make kind of those big plays to bring Pittsburgh up or back into it, they kind of were like, okay, yeah, let's do this. And so it was one of those things of, even when Labette County was kind of ramping it up, they did too. And so it was just one of those things where, especially, and again, not making excuses for the Grizzlies in any means, but it's just one of those things of Pittsburgh in the end outplayed us.
Yeah.
And we just kind of handed it to them. Had we not made as many mistakes, or had we not given up some of those easy buckets there towards the end, yeah, it might have been a different ball game. But overall, I still think these guys should be very proud, especially since they only scored 22 points the last time against us. To be able to score 63, I mean, that's something to be pretty proud of.
Labette falls to 8-11 on the season, and 5-6 inside the SEK, as that pretty much is meaningless at this point. Pittsburgh outright champs of the SEK. Labette County will have their regular season finale here at home on Friday against Field Kinley. Golden Tornado of Coffeyville coming to take a visit on Tamashaw night here in Harrison, as hopefully Labette County can get their feet back under them, as this now makes 6 straight losses for our Labette County Grizzlies. A team that usually peaks this time of year is certainly dipping, and they have 1 game left to uptick before Sub-State comes into play. Still no sign of Coach Argabright for our Bowen Pharmacy postgame show, as he's now out of the locker room, down on the floor talking. So let's step aside for a 2-minute break, and when we come back, we'll see if we will hear from head coach of the Grizzlies, Bradley Argabright. Welcome you into the continuance of our Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Grizzly basketball. As I saw Coach Argerbright for a moment, okay, he's talking to Coach Woods, I think, or something, so he's coming over. Labette County loses 63-71 to Pittsburgh. Mason English of Pitt with 46 points, a season high. Had he hit a few more free throws, he missed more than usual, he would have had 50. So just kind of interesting to throw around there. Awful great player, but Labette County, Trey Vincent had 20. That's a fun number to look at next to Trey's name. I'm so happy and proud of Trey, the way that he's battled, and you've been able to see the growth and the realization in him of realizing that he can score in all these different ways.
Yes.
As Trey had always, I think, even looked at himself as a passer first, and he slowly got that shoot first, pass second mentality while still finding a really good balance of both of those. And it was fun to watch, especially at that Burlington tournament where he started to attack the rack a little bit more and start to see some production, as he certainly did tonight. As Coach Argerbright is joining us here for our coach's interview, a part of the Bowen Pharmacy post-game show of Grizzly basketball. Coach, you had the lead at half. I know, and more or less, you know, against Pitt, a 4-point lead against really anybody. It's a small margin, but you battled and put yourself in a position to be successful.
Yeah.
So talk about that whole process and how the second half went down, or the first half, whatever you want to say.
You know, I thought we played a really good first half, and you know, we went on a little run there, and you know, before I could blink, he went. And I say Mason went on a 7-0 run by himself. He hit some really tough shots tonight. You know, hit a lot of threes that were, you know, beyond the three-point line considerably. So, and I think he had 46. So, you know, we tried to hold him to, our goal was 20, 25, and, you know, he exceeded that. But he's probably the best player. He is the best player we've seen this year.
Yeah.
Just a prolific scorer. But I was proud of our kids for battling. You know, we were within 4 with about 3 minutes left, and just couldn't make the plays when we needed to. We turned it over, and we keep talking about that in the locker room. You know, we've been in the last 6 games we've lost, and I don't know what it is with the fourth right now, but we just can't seem to make the plays when we need to make them. Whether that's turning the ball over or hitting a shot or getting a stop or, you know, any combination of those. But every night it's been something different. So, you know, I'm proud of this group. I keep telling them to be positive. You know, we've played some really great teams. You know, Pittsburgh's a great team. Atchison was a really great team. Chanute's ranked number 7 in 4A. So our last 3 have not been easy. But we've just got to keep the faith, and, you know, we've been in these situations now, and we've got to find a way to turn it around the other side, especially these next 2 games.
As Trey Vincent did score 20. Is that a season high for Trey?
Yep.
Okay, so
probably career high. Yep.
Okay, yeah. If it was season, probably career as well. So talk about his ability and then kind of the adaptation of him throughout the season. I feel like earlier on in the year he was thought of himself maybe even as a pass-first type guy. Not to say he's not, but in situations where he knows he should go score, he's now going to score.
Yeah, he's doing a really nice job using our high ball screens and some other stuff, especially in transition. He's doing a nice job. But he's attacking the rim really hard right now, and he's getting, if the man helps, he's finding his teammate, and he's doing a good job of hitting the roll man too. So really proud of him, and, you know, he finished well at the goal tonight with 20 points. So that's been a goal for his, is to keep finishing at the rim, and did a really nice job tonight. But I thought he found his teammates well too.
Hudson finished with 14. I don't think he scored in the third, was kind of quiet in the second. Was that an adjustment they made? Did you have to adapt in a couple of those huddles? Not many stoppages of play in that third quarter, but talk about the ability to adapt to Hudson's production kind of going away in that second half.
Yeah, they were kind of helping off in that first half, and then the third quarter they kind of stayed closer to him, which let Trey finish at the rim a little bit more. He had 8 in that third. So I thought that was a big adjustment, but, you know, a couple times we just didn't find him, or he didn't finish at the rim. And I thought a couple times he had a couple that went in and out on him down there that I thought could have been a foul. And, you know, he's just banging right now. He had a really nice first half. But, you know, we got to find a way to keep getting him involved. You know, he should always score every quarter, I think. He's too big and too dominant for us not to be scoring a lot of points. But I thought he rebounded really hard tonight too. So both ends of the floor, he was kind of banged up at half, hurt his finger, but he'll be fine. So he battled through some different stuff tonight, and I thought he played a really nice game.
As it was certainly fun to see Joe Page back out there, and help contribute a little bit, hit two threes, as he's usually good for 2 threes a game at the minimum. So how's his health come along? And we haven't had him for Parsons.
4 games,
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's just finding that rhythm again, when you get someone that we were getting used to not having him, and now we have him again. So,
right.
Just a different dynamic variable for us, a great shooter. He plays great defense. He's going to help us down the stretch. I know that, especially when, they have to help. If they don't help on Trey, then, he's going to have a goal at the rim, and if not, we have a great look outside. So just finding different ways to use him. He played some, I would say, limited tonight, but he played about as usual. So keeping him healthy into the postseason, that's our goal, not have anything happen against Coffeyville, and making sure we're full strength come Tuesday next week.
That's right. So, Coach, I was going to ask, I know no one really knows, and certainly coaches aren't thinking about that. You have Coffeyville Friday.
Yeah.
But what do we know, even if it's bare minimum, about Sub-State in terms of details?
Going into tonight, we were going to play Holton first, and then we would have been either with Baldwin or I want to say Coffeyville. That second game, it would be hosted by Baldwin. But we would go to Holton first. So we'll see where the draw goes.
Okay.
We're right there in the mix with everything. So it'll really come down to Friday when we're talking. I still might not know. So it'll come down to the last second. And, wherever we end up, we're going to go give our best and see what we got.
That's right. Well, Coach, go get Coffeyville on Friday, Tamashaw here at home. Great to have a full week at home.
Yeah, it's going to be special. We've got Tamashaw. I probably won't talk on Friday. I'll send my seniors up. I'm kind of counting that as our senior night. I know tonight was senior night, but, it's really the last one on your home court for senior night. So,
right.
It'll be a big night for everything, but I really want to give a shout out to my seniors, Griffin Eaton, Trey Vinson, Matthew Boyle, Joe Page, and Zach Renfro. They all started the game tonight for me. 2 of those moved in, Joe and Zach this year. And then the other 3 have been with me all 4 years. So that's really special to me. It's my first 4-year group, so they've only been taught by me and Coach Tuck and Coach Brown, so that's special to me. They know the values, and I thought they played extremely hard tonight, especially for senior night. And that's a great Pittsburgh team. The first time we played them, we got beat by 30. So to be within 2 possessions at the end, and they win the league, tonight going 11-1. So I'm just really proud of those seniors and giving us effort, and hopefully we can take them out on this court on Friday one last time.
That's right. We'd love to hear from those guys. Send them up at the end of that game. We'd love to hear from them. So, Coach, thanks for coming out.
I appreciate it. Go Grizzlies.
Head coach of Labette County, Bradley Argabright, whom you just heard the voice of. Labette County falls to Pittsburgh once again, 63-71. For Lucas Hayward and Isabel Redford, my name is Jack Leake. We thank you, Grizzly Nation, for tuning in for another evening of Labette County Grizzly basketball. We'll be live Friday at 5:45. The Tent Connection pregame show will be on as Labette County plays host to Field Kinley of Coffeyville on Tamashaw night. Have a great night.